Thing is cold. Why is it so cold? Why? Just why? 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 How's it going? Welcome to Order 42. I'm Rob, and we're doing the show. And man, it's been a strange, at least for movies and stuff. Little slow when it comes to movie news. I mean, we've got a couple things to talk about, but you know, it's just I've been watching a lot of movies though. A lot of movies, and some TV shows. So we're gonna talk about it. But how are you doing? How are you? That's hey. I'll tell you this. I'm enjoying the coffee. There's a lot of coffee being drunk in this house now. Yeah. Averaging 2 cups a day. So feeling pretty good. Other than that, I apologize for not having a video to start the show. But I recorded it using this, and it was in here in the office, and I'm an idiot and didn't check to see if it was in focus. So it was out of focus and it looked like crap. And on top of that, I don't know why nobody told me this before, but I got no butt. No butt. I got no butt. Seriously. So here's the deal. Here, let me show you Where is it? Here it is. So yeah, things have been moved around a little bit. Um, so yeah, the DVDs that were down here are now here. The Blu-rays that were up here are now down here. And then the 4Ks are all sitting over here in the corner. Sorry, wrong camera. Hi. They're sitting over here because I've only done shorts on like 2 or 3 of them. And I figure, hey, why not do the shorts on the 4Ks? And the problem is, I have a lot more DVDs and Blu-rays than I have 4Ks. So there's also, there you go, a stack of Blu-rays and DVDs that I can't put on the shelf anymore because they take up too much damn room. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. But yeah, so yeah, I was going to use that for, for like an intro to the show. Didn't work. I was going to use it as a short to kind of like do it real time lapse really fast so you could see me, shift everything. Didn't work. And my pants were falling down and I got no butt. So it's been a weird week, man. It's been a weird week. I didn't know I didn't have a butt. So anyway, that's probably why people have told me they're when they find out how much I weigh, they go, "Really?" It's because I got no butt. Anyway, to say hello to everybody, Cosma was first. It's good to see somebody else in first place. Not really first place, but first in the chat, I'm not saying that Cosma's not first place. I'm not saying that. But saying first place would say that first place in the race to be the first in chat. I don't know. I'm digging a hole. Anyway, Cosma. Sorry I don't have a video to show the -5 degree weather because of 20 to 40 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 60. This 4-day storm is ending at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I got 1.5 feet of snow, but I know got 6. That's a lot of snow. 1.5 feet is plenty of snow to me. But we don't get that kind of snow here. And in fact, it's crazy cold here. And maybe not, look, here, it's all relative, right? It's cold to me, It's 29 degrees right now. It's going to get down to 14 this morning or tonight, whatever. I know that's not that cold to you guys because I see here, who was it? It was Movie Mike. Movie Mike said a negative. Wait, where's it? Got up to 6 degrees today. That's freaking cold, man. That's way too cold. And Jinzu said, I hate snow now. Yeah. And yeah, we're going to talk about, because really it's the big news, at least from what I saw this week, is update on a remake and a long gestating sequel is apparently moving forward. But we'll talk about those. We'll talk about that. And now Bonobo Juice said, I'm the first 4th person there ever was. How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you here. And the winter has been brutal. Yes. Yeah. And Star Fox apparently loves it. I mean, I like it, but it's not, man. I don't know. I don't like it when it's this cold, Mid 30s is the lowest I want it to go. Don't get below freezing, because then I gotta drip my faucet, and I don't like that. I just walk by and I go, well, I guess I have to pee now. Anyway. What are the meow? I don't know what all the sounds are. The chillest of tracks. I mean, it's a pretty chill track. Yeah, it's pretty chill. 6 degrees. Next week is supposed to be in the 40s. Will feel like summer. Yeah, it's going to be in the 60s and 70s next week, which really sucks because my wife is off this week. Yeah, we can't go do anything because it's going to be so freaking cold. Nobody wants to go out in cold like this. I mean, I guess we could. As long as it doesn't rain and snow and sleet and all that crap. But I guess we'll find out. Oh, and yes, just to let you know, I'm going to put it in the chat again. Um, maybe you've heard me talk about this before, but Bucho's not here, not going to be here tonight, apparently, because he's, I got to work and, make money so I can survive, whatever, Bucho. But anyway, he and I recorded a podcast with the good folks over at J Guys and Jedi. Now, if you guys remember, Bucho and I, we did a podcast and we went through every single episode of the Clone Wars, the Star Wars Clone Wars show. And through doing that, we met Hope and Chris over at J Guys and Jedi. And their 400th episode is coming up, and we're going to be on it. I think we're going to be like one group of like a bunch of people. There's going to be a bunch of people on this show, but it's going to be like segments, you know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to be on the show, and I talked about all kinds of things. We talked a little bit about Star Wars, but it is actually kind of weird because, for a Clone Wars thing, we ended up talking about a lot of things other than Clone Wars, but that's okay because it was fun. It was a great conversation. I really enjoy Hope and Chris, and maybe check it out. And of course, I'll promote it once I have links and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the podcast, J Guys and Jedi. We will be on that. Bucho and I. You can hear his dulcet Kiwi tones, And yeah, this Bucho, this guy. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. It's coming. It's coming soon. Let's see. Let's see. Yesterday was a weird day because I recorded the podcast, talked to Billy, and talked to Tim. Yeah. Timmy T. The Timmy T. About some story ideas. Timmy T. Oh yeah, he came up with an idea that is so good that it got my creative brain it went in overdrive. Now, he's been coming up with some ideas. I came up with some ideas. My guess is once we kind of agree on what to do, then I will probably try to write it. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. But I'm very excited about that. And of course, Billy and I, we're talking about chuckleheads. So some movement there too. So very exciting when it comes to the story front. And of course, I'm still working on developing this other idea that I'm excited about. So yeah, very creative day yesterday. If this allowed images and GIFs, I'd post the Jack Torrance at the end of Shining picture. Yes. All frozen, with everything's, yes, I know that. And sorry, I was making noises, but, during the intro there. Wasn't being strangled. I was just, -15, Derek. Whoa. Welcome, by the way. Good to see you. But -15, that's crazy. Howard U. Howard U? Is that Howard University? Or is that a how are you? But you're saying Howard U. I'm not sure. Is that like the Superman is Soup Herman? Soup Herman? Yeah. I don't know. It's good to see you guys though. It's good to see everybody here. And look, I'm going to need your help because look, there's just not a whole lot of news. We got stuff to talk about. Don't get me wrong. I got pickups. I got movies I watched. I got book stuff. Man. But yeah. Game room frozen. Yeah, I'm so irritated at myself. Can you hear that? Can you hear that shaking? I'm so irritated because I know how to use it. And it would have been so simple to pick up my phone and check the quality. Would have been so easy. I didn't do that. So anyway, some deadlifts and squat to get that ass. Well, here's the funny thing. Doing that yesterday. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday when I moved everything. Something happened to my back. That's how you know you're getting old. You can move some Blu-rays and your back will tighten up. So I've been kind of like I can't stand straight up, and it's like, dang it, I'm old. It sucks. Look at all that room for more movies. I know. The 4Ks are going on that shelf. Gives me room to grow with the 4Ks. Even though you can see, let's see. Yeah, you can see this is the 3D shelf or section right there. Those are the only 3D movies I have. Cuz honestly, we didn't watch that many. I mean, we bought like there's at least 3 movies that I think I can almost guarantee you we never watched in 3D. And it's just because, it's not exactly the most convenient way to watch a movie. But anyway. But yeah, deadlifts and squats, huh? Fine, I'll stop being foist. Stop, folks. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just, it's nice to see a new face up there, That's all I'm saying. So it's all good. You sweat in 30-degree weather? Oh, my intro song are the beat boops. Ah. You know what I need to do is, man, if I could just, what I need is like a week. A week so that I can learn Logic, on the Mac. Because I've got, I wouldn't say talent. I've got songs in me that want to get out, but I have nowhere to put it because my XP50, my Roland XP50 keyboard, my workstation that I bought, oh my God, it's almost been 30 years since I've had that thing. Anyway, it's dead. It won't turn on anymore. But I have the USB keyboard, and I have a pretty powerful computer with probably unlimited tracks in Logic. But I've never learned how to use it. And that's the thing. It's like when music started to become more like programming, I lost interest. And I know that once I learned it, I could probably crank out a bunch of stuff. But I don't know, man. It's finding the time and the energy to sit down and learn a new piece of software, Like, where's all the multi-tap stuff, where you go, beep, 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 beep. That's what I want. So I can write stuff. I don't know, man. I just need to do it. But I just don't. I don't do it. Anyway. I don't know how far behind I am. It's probably, it's not, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Keep her warm. I mean, yes. I mean, not right now, because I'm in here. She's in there. Wouldn't make for a very interesting stream if, it was just an empty chair. I mean, I don't know. Somebody might watch it. But, yeah. Jedediah. No, it's Jedi. J guys and Jedi. Not Jedediah. Bandit's best. Welcome. Good to see you, sir. Just got back in time. I got Chinese food cheat posted in food on Discord. Uh-oh. Well, let's see. The Mongolian beef plate and a couple of egg rolls. $1.35 for egg rolls. $8.50 for the rest. Was that $8.50? $8.50 for the rest. Look at that. That's what Max Sterling is eating right now. Or Shozama, And by the way, speaking of Max Sterling, where is it? There you go. Charge. I fixed this too. This should pull up Dave's YouTube channel and Twitch channel now. Nightbot, come on. There we go. Look, there you go. I fixed it. So there we go. If I ever go, hey, I want to throw you guys over to, to Game Dave, or at least tell you, man, you should go follow Game Dave on Twitch. Every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, he puts on a show, and it's fun. It's fun to just hang out. And you know what? There's a lot of people in here that go over there too. So if you want to hang out Thursday night, you got a place. Just saying. Stupid Timothy and Stupid Billy. Welcome the Melvor. Yeah. I mean, look. We need to get together. We need to all get together again. And we need to do, game chaser stuff. We need to do chasing the unknown stuff. And we need to do story stuff, man. We got all these story ideas. We need to get together, It's one of those things that, look, I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you, hey, all of this corporate stuff where it's like, oh, you got to go back into the office. I don't agree with that. I didn't agree with it when I worked at the place that did the things with the computer software phone company guys, right? I didn't agree then. I could do the exact same work here that I did there. But for some reason they were like, well, no, everybody can work from home 1 day a week. You do realize that I'd probably work a little more if I didn't have to get up, take a shower, get on the road, drive 45 minutes to get to work, and then have to do the exact same thing in opposite. If I just had to get up and turn on my computer, you'd probably get another hour and a half, 2 hours out of me. But no, they don't look at it that way. Because why? They're paying rent. And they gotta justify that somehow. Well, that's crap. I'm sorry. That's not my problem. I don't know. It's just one of those things that irritates me. But coming up with stories, coming up with, stuff that we gotta, we can't film over the internet. We gotta do stuff. Let's do it. Maybe not when it's, 15 degrees outside. But, New Mac update has AI writing tools, and it's not bad, especially since it's free. Derek, yes. But I haven't used any of that yet. And I don't know. Okay? I just don't know about it. And I'm not one of those that's like, AI scares me. I understand. It's a tool just like anything else. It is. But my problem is I want to know where these ideas are coming from. I don't want to write something that's, enhanced by AI and then come to find out, oh, well, that story thread came from this and it's almost verbatim. I don't want to do that. So it scares me, not because of the, of any reason, but because I want to know that my ideas came from my brain and not, borrowed or whatever, or whatever from someone else. You know what I mean? And that's what irks me about the whole AI thing, is that they're not disclosing how it's learning. What are they feeding all of these things, for it to learn? That's what scares me. And I don't know. And in theory, anything over 100 years old that's written, there's probably things to this, there's probably exceptions to this. But for the most part, if it's written down and it's over 100 years old, there's no copyright anymore. Which probably means that you could probably take ideas from something written in the 1870s or the 1880s or whatever. Sure. I still don't like it. I don't like that. It just, it freaks me out. It freaks me out because I don't want, I don't do it. I don't do it. It's the same reason why even though I think some of the AI songs are really funny, I don't really play with it. It's just not, there's just something about it that feels icky to me. And I'm sure, yes, well, Rob, you just need to use it and you need to learn the tools. I mean, gosh, we've been doing Photoshop crap, what, at least one a week, and they're funny. But it scares me. It freaks me out. I don't know. I don't know. Yojimbo Sanjuro 4K might be delayed. Well, and here's the thing. For me, because I have Seven Samurai on Blu-ray, and now I have that 4K from BFI, right? I don't see a huge difference between. I mean, there is a difference. There totally is a difference, but it's not a huge difference between the two, because the Seven Samurai already looked on Blu-ray already looked amazing. I have Yojimbo and Sanjuro on Blu-ray. And it's hard for me, especially for those movies where it's like I like them, I'm glad I own them, but I don't need them in 4K. I just don't. So I don't know. I don't know about that one. But hey, I'd like to know what you think once you get it. If your songs are anywhere like Billy's, you should probably keep them in you. No, the Melvor, I think mine are a little different. If you listen to the beginning of the stream, that's my song. There's no sexual robots. There's no quantum voids. It's different. It's a different style. But I want them. I want them out. Like there's one that seriously I started working on as my keyboard was going bad, and I never finished it, and it's still up there. Every now and then it'll just play in my head, and I'm like, dang it, I need to finish that, but I don't have anywhere to finish it. Ableton Live for years and still learning. I also have Ableton Live. I have the demo or whatever, but I'm like, I want Logic, and I think part of the reason why I wanted, because I own Logic, and the part of the reason too is that's what my friend Jerry, he uses, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And if I have questions, I know where to go. I can go to him and go, hey, how do you do this? And I probably should just do it, and I just haven't. Christian VS, welcome. Welcome to you. So yeah. Do a Chase in the Unknown where one of you might get killed for exposing their secrets. I thought of the moral parts of AI with writing, and I just see it as having an editor by my side. Yeah, yes. Especially when you can. I mean, look, for everyday stuff, I don't see a problem with it. One of the things that really irritated me when the new updates came out was it was summarizing everything, and I'm like, so you're using AI to summarize 2 lines down to 1. Like, but what? But like, what? How is that helpful? I can read pretty fast. I don't need it, so I turn it all off. So I gotcha. I use it to fix my grammar. My ideas are non-fiction related, so I doubt people are saying my crazy ideas. That's true too. That's true too. The way to AI is to get it AI, then have AI reword it. Reword it. I don't know how to speak, apparently. There's probably meaning in that, but I'm just not feeling it. Nobody. Welcome, nobody. It's kind of funny. Like, it's Dead Man, right? Right? Have you seen that movie? Dead Man, Jim Jarmusch film, Johnny Depp, lots of other actors. It's a great movie, right? Black and white, cowboy movie, Western, you could say. And one of the characters' name is Nobody. And he's like, "Hey, are you here alone?" He goes, "I'm here with nobody," or something like that. And I think that's awesome. And then Nobody comes around the corner and helps dispatch the whatever's The bad guys. Not like that. But anyway, nobody says, as someone who wants to get into the film industry, I refuse to use AI for writing. It just feels so cheap to me. And at that point, it's not even your writing anymore. It's the AI's. Nobody? I have to agree with nobody here. I agree. I just, it's one thing to throw an idea. I think what would be interesting is come up with like a single, like most movies you could say are usually like one idea stretched out. So you could say, hey, I got an idea about a pumpkin man who's trying to join the U.S. sailing team, Olympic sailing team, and he goes through trials and tribulations in order to stay a part of the team and find love, whatever, right? Whatever your idea is. You could type that out and put it into Chat GPT or whatever and figure out if there's a movie like that or a TV show like that. Hey, has there ever been a movie where a pumpkin man tries to join the US Olympic team? And just see what it says. Maybe that's what AI should be used for. You know? I don't know. Don't you run your writing past editors that rewrite what you say so it sounds better? Ooh, I think if you're writing a novel, sure. Writing a screenplay, that's not typically the way it works. And I mean, look, there's probably many places where things get rewritten. I'm sure on the day and again, it was the same with adventures, right? When we were making adventures, there were plenty of times when it's like, okay, this scene is to make sure this is what this scene does. This scene is the four guys sitting at a restaurant, in a restaurant, they're having a conversation, they're arguing about, whether or not Jay's a cheater, right? There are things in that scene that are important. The way that it gets across is a little more fluid. So if Eric, say, wanted to say a specific line a different way, you could kind of say that that's a rewrite, but it's more about on the day, this is what we're going to do and this is what we're going to say. There were many days where so much of the script was rewritten, but the point of the scene stayed intact. And I think that's what's important, So in that way, I see what you're saying, but it's not quite like that, But I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't want to have to disclose to anybody, yes, I used AI to do this. If somebody asks me, I want to be able to tell the truth and say, no, this all came from my stupid brain. And I don't feel bad about it. But again, it's a tool, right? It's a tool just like anything else. I don't know. It's a strange thing. And the more that I think about AI, the more that I think about the fact that it really is like a mega brain. Because that's how our brains learn too. How many times have you seen a movie that feels like somebody threw this movie and then this movie and this movie and they threw it into a blender and that's the new movie? And what is that? That's somebody who was influenced by this. They said, oh, I want a Ghost in the Shell type story mixed with some philosophy, and I want some really cool action and slow-mo fighting, and then like martial arts, like real martial arts fighting. And but it's basically about a system of computers that take over the planet, and we're all stuck in this thing, and it's called the Matrix. It's a lot of ideas thrown together and put out in a new way, in a weird kind of way. That's what AI does. It assimilates. It assimilates ideas. But it's a tool. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably just talking crap. But a song without sexual robots or quantum voids? Heresy? Maybe. Top 3 fruit to eat. Wraith, welcome. Hi. Hope you're doing okay. Mangoes, plums, etc. I'm not a big mango fan just because there's a funk to mango that I'm not a huge fan of. Um, I'm a berry guy. I like my blueberries, my blackberries, my strawberries, my acai berries. I do love my acai. I love bananas, love oranges, love apples. When you get into the I guess the more exotic fruits, I'm just not a big fan. I don't like not a big plum guy, not a big peach guy. Although if you give me like a peach cobbler, I'm going to get down on a peach cobbler. You know what I mean? You know, I'm going to yes, love the peach cobbler. And there's certain things that yeah, I like, but yeah, there you go. When you're talking about just fruit to eat, I'm a simple guy, you know. And Bonobo Juice says, I could see using AI as a writing tool, but not to write for you, but keep it updated with the story and be like, yo, you spot any logical holes or loose ends here that I should reflect on. Again, absolutely. It's a tool. You know, it's a tool. And I think if used properly, it can be very, very helpful. But the problem with AI is that so many people are using AI as a shortcut and then calling themselves artists. That's not right to me at all. I'm sorry, but it's not right. Like, I wouldn't, any of the pictures that we've put up on stream, you know, that we've done on stream, I don't consider those my images. Like, oh, I'm, you know, whatever. I came up with an alien walking down a, you know, cyberpunk, whatever. It took nothing to make that up. And then putting it out there and selling it, you know, it seems that's icky to me. Icky. I mean, AI can literally change the words of a sentence and have it mean the same just by asking. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But it really, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think everybody's gonna have a different line that they don't feel weird about crossing that line. The line that I want to cross is probably totally different to 10 other people that use AI for whatever reason and they go, "Oh, yeah, like I have no problem pulling up Photoshop so we can come up with a weird goofy thing to put in the Photoshop thing and see what it spits out." I have no problem with that. It's fun. It's a fun, entertaining thing to do. And it's like, okay, I wonder how many fingers is going to be on this hand. You know what I mean? But man, with writing, it feels different to me, and I haven't done anything like that yet. So, and maybe I would feel different because what would I mean, my guess is a lot of times you would come up with an idea, maybe AI fleshes out that idea, and then you take that idea and you expand on that, right? And in the process of doing that, you're writing a huge thing that AI really just helped at the beginning stage. But that beginning stage is usually the fun part to me. I like coming up with the weird, goofy stuff that's going to be in there and then expanding on it as I'm writing. It's a different thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I also feel like AI writing tools work better for nonfiction than fiction. Maybe. I don't know. Have I already watched The Prodigal Son 1981? I don't even know what that is. Is this going to be okay? I'm sure it is. Prodigal Son 1981. I have not seen this movie. Looks like Sammo Hung, Biao Yun, Ching Ying Lam. I have not seen this film. A young man discovers that his reputation as a fearsome martial artist is manufactured by his rich father after meeting a real martial arts master who's also a master thespian and is determined to apprentice under him to learn kung fu. Interesting. No, I have not seen this film. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. There's there's going to be a lot of martial arts movies I've seen, but most, I would say 90% of the movies that I've seen are Shaw Brothers. They just are. And I've seen a lot of Golden Harvest. I've seen a lot of Shaw Brothers though. A lot of Shaw Brothers. I hope Billy makes that Duck Melvor shirt. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm writing a math philosophy book, but it ties to other subjects to make it Melvor spicy. I almost see it as, oh, I better not Google. Wait. I almost see it as, oh, I better not to Google search to get ideas when it comes to people being scared of AI. Search to get ideas. I don't do that. I don't even do that. I literally don't use anything when I'm coming up with an idea, other than I pull up my notes app and I start writing ideas down that come out directly from my brain. And there's one, I can't tell you what it is yet because I don't even know what's going to happen with it. But this idea, I woke up thinking about another movie that I'd seen long time ago. I can almost guarantee you that whatever movie you throw out in the chat, it will not be even close to what I'm thinking of. Okay? Because it's one of those, it's out there, right? I had an idea that spurned off from that movie that didn't work. I don't think that movie was good. But to change it up in a way that made it more interesting, and I think the idea is kind of cool, but I don't know. Until I really sit down to develop this idea, I won't know if it's that good. All I know is that initial idea I like, but I don't get it from anything. It just, you know what I mean? I just asked ChatGPT about your Pumpkin Man sailing story. Really wish I had room to paste the answer in here. It called the story The Gourd and the Glory. See, okay, remember I said that last week, that his name should be Gordy. You know, like you hear Gordon, right? Yeah, Gordon whatever, and they call him Gordy. It should be Gordy, but spelled like that. Gordy. Gourdy. I think that's amazing. AI on its own proclaimed Billy as the king of farts. Every MCU movie for the past 15 years feels like that. I mean, Wraith, look, we all get hyperbolic in here sometimes. But that's a hyperbolic statement. It's like a gnat or something in here. I mean, you'd think there was a freaking alien in here. Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, not every MCU movie is bad. There's a lot of them that are not great. Like, look, I mean, Brave New World came out this weekend. I don't know if did anybody see it? Anybody other than me? I'm sure there was. I mean, it made 88 million this weekend. Yeah. It felt weird. But if you think about what happened, right? When that movie was made, it was right toward the end of Bob Chapek's reign at Disney. And his words to everyone was basically, Disney Plus is the new thing. Crank out as much stuff as you can. That's it. Crank out as much stuff as you can. This movie, then, when Bob Iger came back, I'm guessing Kevin Feige said, okay, now that I have power again, because now Bob Chapek's gone, Bob Iger put everything back the way it was. Now I have power. We got to change this up. We got to try to salvage this. It's not working now. It's the exact same thing that happened with Daredevil, and they reshot almost the entire series. Right? You know, I mean, this is part of the news that's been going around. So, by that rationale, Daredevil should be, in theory, should be one of the final projects where things had to be reworked. But it looks like or from what it sounds like, they just reshot the whole thing. So you look at Brave New World and you go, yeah, that's, they're unquestionably some great scenes in that movie. But the movie as a whole just doesn't really work. And it's a bummer because I really like Anthony Mackie. But that's just my opinion. And I don't feel like completely blanketing something like that. That's like saying, oh, well, Star Wars sucks. Well, there's definitely been some Star Wars in the past few years, past 10 years, 15 years, whatever you want to say. There's been Star Wars that's been not great. But there's also been some great stuff, Andor was great. Skeleton Crew was really good. The Clone Wars was good. Rebels was good. There's been a lot of good stuff. It's not all been bad. So I just say, look, everybody's entitled to an opinion. Okay? But maybe just for the sake of, breaking out of the mold that is this world right now, where everything is a binary thing. It's either the greatest thing ever or it's the worst thing ever. Maybe there's room for a lot of stuff in the middle. And sometimes things are going to be pretty good. And sometimes they're going to be pretty bad. But man, there's only the greatest movie ever. And there's only one, the worst movie ever. Bigfoot versus D.B. Cooper. The worst movie ever. I don't know. Anyway. For AI writing to be useful and create good quality, I feel like it only works where you give it a paragraph and just edit that at a time. Okay. Am I talking crap, Derek? I don't know. But I mean, I probably am. I mean, I talk crap all the time. Pineapple? I love pineapple. I do love pineapple. But it's not something that I just typically snack on. I think mainly because of the acidity. I like something that's a little less damaging to the inside of my mouth. Yeah. It's the same reason why I don't eat a whole lot of oranges either. I don't like citrusy stuff. I like is fine, but in moderation. Raspberry jam. Now you're talking my language. Love me some raspberries. And raspberry jam, hell yeah, man. Start dipping that. Or start dipping your fries, your French fries in that. 100 times better than ketchup. In fact, the way I need to find this. This has got to be a thing, right? You know how they have hot honey? Not like, your wife or anything. Hot honey. Right? Is there a spicy raspberry jam? Because that right there would destroy ketchup for me. I wouldn't need ketchup anymore. Just give me spicy raspberry jam. And I dip my fries, chicken nuggets, all kinds of things in that. Be good. Funky Mangoes, good band name. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, Cosmo. Not bad. Watermelon? You like watermelon? I do like watermelon too, but it's not, that's another one where it's like, that's a more of a summer thing. And it's like one time in the summer. I'm not a huge watermelon fan, but Rob wants to solve the Sudoku puzzle himself, and that's a noble want. I mean, I don't know about noble. See, there might come a time, and no telling when this is going to happen, but there might come a time when the choice to use AI or not use AI could be the difference between getting a job and not finding a job, or not getting the job. Have you ever used AI before? No, I don't really believe in it. And they go, all right, well, thanks for coming in. And you're like, that's it? I have to use AI to get this job? Thank you for coming in. And they want somebody who's proficient in using that. That could be a thing. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just not something that I'm not pushing myself to use it. I'll just say that. Again, using it every now and then for a laugh on stream, sure. But other than that, Gordy Lou. Yes. I hear you on the AI. I just use it to close gaps. And yeah, that's hey, again, and I'm not saying that it's noble or not noble or anything like that. It's just not something that me personally, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I'm afraid that down the road, it's kind of like, the same reason why I don't post pictures of my butt on Facebook. I don't want that to come back on me someday. And that's kind of somewhat figurative, you know? You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of people that use their Facebook and their Twitter and whatever else to, here are my statements about the world. And look, I don't think it's anybody's business what you think about this or that. Number one. Number two, what if you're trying to get a job somewhere and whoever's looking at your profile goes, I don't agree with that. No matter what side of the aisle you sit on, that can be the thing that closes the gap. And it could be the thing that prevents you from even getting an interview. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to even... It's kind of like the same reason why I don't use bumper stickers. How dare you? No. But I mean, like, it's none of your business whether, if I have a fish or not on my car. It's none of your business who I wanted to vote for. It's none of your business who my favorite band is. Why would you want any of that? It's kind of, I don't know. Hey. It's just an old cranky man talking, I guess, apparently. An old cranky man with a jacked up back and no butt. I feel like this is going off the rails a little bit. But that's Order 42, man. You never know. You never know what you're going to get. From what I've seen so far, it's not a bad one at all. Are you talking about my butt? What about a movie set in the 80s, sex comedy with ninjas? I mean, why not? Why not? Sounds like, see, that's the thing. Just a simple premise like that, you could throw that in write me an 80s sex comedy about ninjas. Or with ninjas. And it would just probably spit out a full freaking thing. And you just run with it. And then later on you're like, wow, this is really whatever. I don't know. As I see it, AI is good to check for grammar, loopholes, and stuff like that. But if you're writing fiction, it's better to have people help because an AI can't have an opinion of its own like a human. That's true. It's Ant-Man. Oh, that's what was in here? Oh, you know what? I saw something on my ceiling earlier. And I thought it was like a little dust bunny, but it's not there now. It was probably like a little fly or something. And he's probably very happy to be in here because it's cold. It's it's funny that we use things like, man, it's cold as hell outside. Okay, I get what you mean. You basically mean it's very cold. it's extraordinarily cold outside. You're using as hell as as an extreme thing. But that doesn't make any sense. Hell is supposed to be hot, right? So why do you say cold as hell? It's cold as shit. You ever heard that? How exactly cold is shit? Isn't it body temperature? It's cold as shit that's been sitting there for a while. You know what I mean? It's funny. It's funny. I think about things like that. The things that we say and we don't think about. I don't know. Use chopsticks to catch that gnat. Hey, there's no Pat Morita in here, okay? I love Pat Morita. I like seeing him in roles outside of Mr. Miyagi. I mean, of course, that's what he's probably most famous for. But like, he was in Taxi. He was in other movies in the early 80s, late 70s. I just like Pat Morita. I think he's great. Not saying they're bad. They just all feel like I've watched this all before. I mean, look. A lot of movies feel like that sometimes, don't they? And yeah. Yes. But again, it's, just because one isn't to your liking doesn't mean that the next one won't be. And I have hope. you know? I mean, the studio system is one of those where it's getting really, it can be really frustrating to watch because I like the big budget, high energy, all those. I like the big budget movies, right? The problem is there's a limit. A lot of times there's a limit to how crazy one of those movies can get, and I'm starting to get more and more bored with them. Now that doesn't mean that I'm done, but it's, I don't know. I just, you watch them for different reasons, I guess. I enjoyed the Brave New World reviews. My favorite screen title was Captain Exposition, LOL. I mean, that is true. But I feel like, again, there was so much that could be done with that. There was an idea, and I'm not going to spoil anything here, okay? I'm not a, you know me. Hashtag no spoilers in the chat. That's why I even if I wasn't a huge fan of it, there's probably somebody out there that was like, man, that movie's great. I don't know what everybody's talking about. But there is a character that is in the movie that is basically taken out of the action. And then there's a huge thing that happens where, you know what, that guy could have been helpful if you hadn't removed him from the movie, basically. That choice hampered. It's just one of those things. Was like when I heard somebody say that, and I went, oh man, that would have been awesome. But again, I'm rooting for Anthony Mackie. More than anything, I'm like, I want Anthony Mackie to do well. So that's really that's my big, to me, it was a bummer because it was like, I was hoping for a better movie so that, I just like Anthony Mackie. I think he's a cool dude. And I've liked him ever since he showed up in Winter Soldier. It's like, yeah, I love this character. It's great. My DVD finds for last weekend were A Bronx Tale. Finally found it after looking forever. DVD and Money Talks with Charlie Sheen and Chris Tucker. Now, is that are you talking about, I'm guessing you're talking about probably Blu-ray, right? Money Talks. That was a recent Warner Archive release, was it not? Did you get, is that the one you got? That's a movie where I remember seeing it, but I don't remember anything about it. And I don't remember really caring for it. I remember thinking, yeah, it was fine. While I was watching it, I was entertained. But yeah. But hey, Spencer, welcome. Bronx Tale, though, man. I mean, I just recently watched that for the first time because of you guys. You guys were like, you gotta freaking watch this movie. Man, what a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I liked episode 1. Are you talking about episode 1, The Phantom Menace? I've always had, well, I'll tell you this. I was stunned because I saw opening day, right? And I had had tickets for 2 screenings back to back. So it's basically get out of that theater, maybe walk it off a bit, go to the bathroom, maybe get more popcorn, drink, whatever, and then go right back in and watch it again. After that first viewing, I was like, I don't know. But over the years, I've come to appreciate episode 1 for what it does right and forgive it for some of the things that went wrong. And again, we can argue all day long about this. There's going to be people that hate the prequels so much. They're like, they're worse. They're the worst. They're the worst. But at least they were trying to do something. And I think there was story there. There was thought in the way that things progressed. I like those movies. If that's what you're talking about. Bigfoot versus DB Cooper, underrated. I'm putting my foot down. Wow, Derek. Wow. There are a number of raspberry jalapeno jams. Oh, Movie Mike. I would like some raspberry jalapeno. And I'm sure there is, right? There's got to be. Because I remember there was I I don't even think they make jerky anymore, but it was this jerky place in Florida, and they had some of the best jerky I've ever had. And I'm not talking about like, when you think of things like, Jack Links or Oberto and no, that's crap. It's all crap, right? This is a quality jerky that, depending on what it is, it's a more moist, better cuts of meat. You can tell that it's a better cut of meat. But they had one, I think it was habanero, raspberry habanero, if I'm not mistaken, and it was awesome. And it's one of those where you could literally eat the whole bag by yourself and be like, all right, well, I guess I don't need to have dinner because I just had a full meal. So good, man. Some of it was so good. And I kind of wish they were still making their stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. But I would like one that's a little hotter than just jalapeno. Because, I mean, not to brag or anything, but I've had some really hot stuff in my life. And jalapeno just doesn't cut it, man. I need minimum habanero. I had something that was rated at, now this could be complete BS, okay? Like, what is it? The Pepper X, right? That's the hottest pepper, I think, right now that you can buy. Whatever, Pepper X is like 2.9 million on the Scoville scale. The Scoville scale is, for those who don't know, Scoville scale is how many units of water will it take to dilute it to where it's not hot anymore. The range goes from 0 to 16 million. Like pure capsaicin, pure fire, heat, whatever, is 16 million. But most peppers range anywhere. I mean, I should say that. Most regular peppers like you find in the store are under 60, 70, 80,000, right? Sometimes you might go in a specialty store and they might have the ghost pepper, or they might have this or that. Well, the Pepper X is 2.9 million on the Scoville scale. It's the hottest pepper known to man. But this stuff that I had was supposedly it was boiled down and concentrated habanero. And they said, was 12 million on the Scoville scale. I don't know if that's true or not. All I can tell you is it was the worst experience of my life. And all I had was like a drop. You know the coffee stirs, right? Like a little straw, like this long. He dipped it in it and gave it to me. And I went like this. I put it like that. And it was like, it tastes bitter and gross. This is not, oh my God, I'm going to die. Fight or flight. I literally didn't know what to do. It was so painful. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I do not recommend this. This habanero extract BS. In fact, anything that's an extract can just F right off. I'm not doing that ever again. But it taught me something. It taught me, number one, I can do it. Yeah, I freaked out for about 30 minutes before I found milk. And of course, Ed Curry, who's the Pepper X guy, he says milk doesn't actually help. I'm like, oh, okay. Because milk, what it does is it combines with it, but then it coats your mouth. And then as soon as the milk goes away, you're still left with the pepper stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to get rid of the heat. But all I can say is I survived it. It was nuts. Complete like sweats, all that stuff. It was terrible. It was terrible. I can just imagine that's what the death nuts are like. The what is it? The Pacquiao whatevers. Yeah. I need something in the upper range though, where I'm talking about over habanero. I like the hot stuff. I like stuff where it's almost uncomfortable. And supposedly we're getting a Dave's Hot Chicken coming in pretty close to us. I'm super excited because Dave's Hot Chicken, I don't know if I told you this, but one of our the Game Chasers, when we did a thing when we went and filmed and stuff, it's me, Billy, Jay, and Chris. And we went to Dave's Hot Chicken. And I don't know what I got. I think I just got the regular hot. And it was like, whoa, this stuff is no joke. And there's like 2 levels above that. I want to try that. I want to try that when I don't have anywhere to be because I know it's going to be painful. I want to try that. I want to try that stuff, man. I love that stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Go home. Sorry, I'm like way behind probably. Sorry. I got sidetracked by hot stuff. Go home and use AI and do some deadlifts to get some ass. Yes. All that makes sense. Mango habanero sauce, and they do make spicy James and jellies. Oh, I know they do. I know they do. And I'm sure, dude, I got a Bucky's like what 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from me. Very close. Like, I mean, considering that it usually takes me like 20 or 30 minutes to get to like Target, 20 or 30 minutes to go to Bucky's is not that big of a deal. And Bucky's, man, there's so many people that just like, oh man, you're so lucky you have Bucky's close by. And I'm like, okay, I've never, I don't know. Bucky's like became a thing that I kept hearing about all the time. It like started and then I had one. So it was kind of like, oh, I never wanted for it. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, they have a whole section of jellies and stuff that I kind of want to get some stuff. But I kind of want to make my own. Just get raspberry jam and put some freaking stuff in it. Man, I don't know. Somebody give this man a bullet. Like some comments I saw today, I commented on the new Mufasa deleted scene they showed. I said it was nice, and then someone was all, this movie sucks, it was horrible, Sonic 3 was better. Guess they just had to mention Sonic 3 on it. Well, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. You have to understand. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Some people just like to proclaim that opinion from the loudest rooftops. Well, how dare you say that, Rob? I mean, you have a whole YouTube channel where you do movie reviews. Yeah, but I try to come at it in a different way. I'm not just like, hey, this movie sucks and you should never watch it. It's, hey, this movie didn't work for me, but if this is what you like, you might get a lot out of it. I mean, just like, for example, The Monkey. The Monkey comes out in a couple of days. I got to see it early last week, okay? I did a review on it. I was sitting there going, it didn't 100% work for me. But everybody seemed to be having a blast. Like people were laughing and joking around, and I mean, it was a fun time, even though the movie didn't 100% work for me. So even though I didn't really care for the movie, you may like it. And I think it would be like if you've got some friends and you're like, hey, let's go watch a movie. I think that would be a fun time at the movies. Even though I don't really like it. Like, I'll never watch that movie again. And I love Theo James. But I don't know. Some people that just completely turn off on something because of whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Everybody's just so, this is the best movie ever. This is the worst movie ever. I would ask Chat GPT about the 80s ninja sex comedy, but the word sex raises red flags. You could word it in a different way, though. You could say something like, what do you call it? I don't know if raunchy would be an 80s style film with raunchy comedy with ninjas in it. I don't know. What he saw on the ceiling was Lionel Richie dancing. You know, Bonobo, I'm not completely sure that most people would even understand that reference. Because Lionel Richie has been known for literally dancing on the ceiling. I don't know. Pat Morita was in Happy Days. Oh, Happy Days, yes. Absolutely. Great stuff. What did I say that he was in? Taxi? Wasn't he in Taxi? I thought he had like a recurring role in Taxi. Am I wrong? No. I guess not. Hmm. Well, I'll say this. Uh, Taxi is one of my favorites. I forgot he was in Happy Days. Maybe that's what I was thinking of though, because that's that same era of TV, and at my age where everything was kind of like the same thing. You know, like the younger you get, the less you like when like the first time you found out that James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader. Did it break your brain a little bit? Like the guy in Field of Dreams is Darth Vader. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Money Talks was fun. Yeah, see, I just don't remember it. Darth Maul is so cool. Episode can't be that bad because of him. Do I live far out in the boonies? No. That's the thing. The traffic is so ridiculous here that it takes forever to get anywhere. Hyperbolic, right? It takes a long time because there's so much traffic. And they've been doing construction on and off in my area for like the last 45 years. No, for a number of years. And there was a one point where the highway is not too far from us, right? Major highway. The problem was every street within basically every place where, depending on if you were going north or you were going south, you'd go down different streets to get to the highway, because we're not like right next. We can't like take a street like directly toward the highway and get to the highway. We have to, go north and then go east, right? Anyway, every single street had construction. So it didn't matter where you went, you were going to have to sit through a light like 4 or 5 times, which added 15, 20 minutes to any drive you made. And it sucked. What used to be there's a turn right, turn left lane, a turn right lane, and 2 lanes going straight, turned into 2 lanes, and there were people that were in the left lane, and I'm sorry, in the left lane that were turning left and going straight, and there were people in the right lane that were going straight and turning right. And so this just huge long line of people, and you'd have to wait for everybody to freaking move. It sucked. Now they finally started to clean some of that up, and it's starting to get easier, but it's still, there's so many, the growth in this part of Dallas Fort Worth is stupid. There's so much opening up over here. It's dumb. And what's happening is, it's kind of like, you look at Dallas Fort Worth, right? There's Dallas on the east side, Fort Worth on the west side. And it was kind of like this, right? Like a pill almost. If you look at the highways, and of course there's some that go in between and go sideways and south and north and whatever, but it's usually like a pill. Well, it seems like the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex is doing this. So now all of this stuff out here around the edge, where it used to be kind of, I wouldn't say out in the boonies, but you were kind of a little further away from stuff. It was a little quieter. It's now starting to blow up and blow up and blow up. And it's crazy. But what's cool about that is that there's a lot of cool places opening up, one-off type little, mom and pop restaurants. There's a lot of, I guess mid-level, not chains, but ones where it's like, okay, well, this company's coming here, and they were based in Austin, and now they're expanding into Dallas Fort Worth, and we're one of the areas where they're opening up a location. So we're getting a lot of cool stuff. But yeah. I've actually been seeing a lot more decent to good reviews from Mufasa than I ever did for that CG Lion King. I really want to check it out. Well, I haven't seen any of the Lion King stuff since the original. Because wasn't there like a Lion King 2? Electric Boogaloo? Right? And the lions were like snapping, Oh wait, that's West Side Story. That's totally different. I don't know. I haven't seen those. The only live action cartoon to live action thing I've seen was Lion King. Or I'm sorry, not Lion King. I haven't seen Lion King. Jungle Book. Right? When they did Jungle Book, that was like the first one where they were trying stuff. And I was like, it's pretty good. And then I haven't really been fussed to see any of the other ones. Because isn't there like Beauty and the Beast and there's all kinds of stuff. I haven't seen. I didn't even see Aladdin. And I heard Aladdin was actually really good. Directed by Guy Ritchie, which is odd. You wouldn't think, like when you think Guy Ritchie, you don't think a live action version of the cartoon, Disney cartoon Aladdin, starring Will Smith. You wouldn't think Guy Ritchie did that, but interesting. You can't have a blast. Sit down and look disgruntled because I don't like the movie. Exactly. Everybody, see, that's the thing. Just, man, everybody likes things. I guess that's my whole thing, is that there's two things. Number one, I know how difficult it is to make any movie get across the finish line. It's tough. It's really, really hard. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of people that work on these things, and they have a lot of passion for the work that they put in. Now, not all of it will work. There are tons of movies that you watch, you go, man, that did not come together. But it's the best they could do. And in so many cases, some of the people that worked on maybe the costumes or the set design or the props or the, whatever, all of these different people doing these individual jobs, that my job is to make this happen. And it was some of the best work they've ever done in their lives. And we just look at it and we discount it like, it's just trash. Just trash. Screw that movie, And it's like, as I've gotten older, I have empathy for those people that, these artisans who made the movie happen. It just sucks for them, But then you've got, what's weird is the way that, for example, I know Leon's not here tonight, at least not right now. He might be in here sometime. But Leon's one of those people where in a lot of cases, he never saw the movie that he worked on. His job was to go in here and do this specific thing. And he did it to the best of his ability. But never watched the final product. And when your work is that way, then I can see why it may not be important if, the writer screwed up the story. But from a special effects standpoint, he did his job and he did it well. And it's hard for me to just completely crap on a movie now because of that. And then on the other hand, there's a ton of people out there with all kinds of different taste. And for me to sit there and go, yeah, your taste is bad and you should feel bad about it. Like Brave New World is one of those movies where I think there's probably a lot of people that had fun with it because they're not worried about whether it connects to this or that, or whether this part was completely airtight, or whether, that was too much exposition at the beginning. No, they had a fun time because it was a Marvel movie and they, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Reviewing movies is odd because now I feel differently about why I'm doing or how I do what I do right now. Anyway. But you're right. It was Happy Days. I guess he wasn't in, Pat Morita was not in Taxi. First, I don't know why I thought he was in Taxi. I don't know. Because I'll tell you this, Happy Days is one of those shows I never liked. I could never stand it. It was, to me, it was shticky. It just had a shtick. It had a thing. And it just, I don't know, it just never worked for me. Taxi was funny. Like, I don't know. I mean, now, again, I haven't watched Taxi in years. So I might watch Taxi now and go, wow, this is not very good. I just remember almost said Judd Nelson. Judd Hirsch. Not Judd Nelson, not Judd Nelson. Judd Hirsch. I just remember Judd Hirsch being like a hilarious guy. And I loved Christopher Lloyd. I thought he was hilarious. I thought freaking who was the redhead in Taxi? I thought she was gorgeous. I just liked the show. Oh, and Danny DeVito was freaking hilarious. I love that show. it probably holds up pretty well. Wow. Yeah, Will Smith. In Texas, you have those weird one-way frontage roads that go next to the interstates. Is that weird? Really? No other states have those? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be it's almost like a bypass, right? But I mean, like yeah, see, this area has grown up so much, they added some extra lanes that were off of the highway. And I think that's part of what it was, there were like on the south side of the Metroplex, when you get south out of the Metroplex, right? You're going toward Austin. There are old highways that are still used as like business, whatever. And I think those are just the older highway. But yeah, I didn't know that, Chris. That's interesting. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, both good then. Lion King 1.5 was meh, then CG Lion King, and now Mufasa. Jungle Book live action wasn't bad, but personally, the other live action called Mowgli was way better to me. Mary Lou Henner, Frodis boy, welcome. It's good to see you. It's been a while. But yes, Mary Lou Henner. I mean, look, I was what, 5, 6 years old. I had all kinds of crushes that I look back now and I go, that's odd. Like what was her name? Um, oh my god, I just had it too. Country singer, Crystal Gale. I thought she was gorgeous. Oh, and Evans? No, Linda. Is that right? Linda Evans? No, Linda Wonder Woman. Linda? But the thing is she was just a beautiful woman. The actress that played Wonder Woman. I mean, everybody thought she was hot, you know? Like straight white women thought she was hot. Everybody thought she was hot. Doesn't matter what race. You look at her and you go, that's a beautiful woman right there. I can't remember. Linda? Is that right? Linda? Why am I having such a problem? I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't think. You're here every week, buddy, just being quiet. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Wonder Woman. Linda Carter. Why couldn't I think of Carter? What a weird thing to go blank on. But yeah, yeah, had a crush on her for sure. Wasn't big on like a lot of like my friends and stuff were all like into like Daisy Duke, and then later on with Heather Locklear. I was kind of like, hmm. Give me Mary Lou Henner and Linda Carter. That's good stuff. I don't know. Rewatch the Taxi episode where Reverend Jim has a nightmare that involves Alex. Fantastic episode. She makes a cameo in Super Troopers. Linda Carter does. Well, I mean, come on, gorgeous woman. But hey, I just dropped water on myself. Let's talk about some of the stuff I watched this week. Um, I talked about The Monkey, but I also watched Long Legs. And the reason that I watched Long Legs is because the director of Long Legs is the director of The Monkey. Now I heard that Long Legs is one of those movies that some people really like and some people really don't like. And the thing is, when a movie's like that, I got to watch it myself. I have to watch it for myself. I can't just go off of what other people say. I got to watch it myself. And I was interested to see if there was going to be any is this Blumhouse? I think both Neon is Neon is Long Legs, not Blumhouse. But and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, The Monkey is also Neon. But Osgood Perkins, right? The son of Anthony Perkins, who played the guy in Psycho, Norman Bates. Almost forgot his name. But yeah, his son is Osgood Perkins. And I had to see it for myself. And you know what? I didn't care for it. This is one of those movies where style over substance. To me, there is something. No spoilers, just in case you haven't seen it and you want to. It didn't work for me because there's something that happens around the beginning of the third act that changes things, and it didn't work for me. But at the same time, I'm looking at the movie and you know, I'm judging the movie, sure, but I'm watching the movie. I see the style, the feel, the sort of the the feel of the world that they've built, and I go, I totally can see why people really connected to this movie and they really like it. Because if you're into that style, then it'll work for you. It's exactly the same as Ridley. In my opinion, Ridley Scott is one of those directors that can make just about anything and I'll find it completely watchable. It doesn't matter what it is. I love his style. If you're into the style of what Longlegs gives you, you're really probably going to enjoy The Monkey. It's a different feel of a movie, but it's got that same kind of visual style that I think a lot of people that like Longlegs really dig. But it's an odd movie. The performances are, I mean, some really odd choices being made there, but it's just not my thing. But I watched Longlegs, had a couple of hours to kind of think about it and stew on it, and then jumped into The Monkey and watched that. And again, The Monkey is coming out. Is this it? Yeah. The Monkey comes out this Friday. And I got to see it last Wednesday. And there's already a review on my channel about it. But if you're interested, it's got a similar style as far as the way things are shot and the way the movie feels. But the story is completely different. It's based on a Stephen King short story. It's got Theo James. For my money, I think he should be a front runner for the next James Bond. I think he's got that same kind of he's got that. I love Theo James. He should be a huge star. And if you haven't seen The Gentleman on Netflix, you should watch that. But so that is opening this week. I did watch Longlegs, found it just meh. Now here is a series that I started. I've not finished it. I think it's still in the process of airing. If you've seen this show, please do me a favor and don't say anything about it, because I'm not going to either. Paradise on Hulu. Don't watch a trailer. Just listen to my words. Watch the first episode. Get to the end of the first episode and then make a decision. But I guarantee you, in my opinion, I said this to my wife. I said, there was better acting in the first episode of Paradise than was in the entirety of Brand New World. And that, for me, is high praise. Sterling K. Brown is freaking awesome. And I've never seen James Marsden this good. He is fantastic. But again, don't look up anything. Don't look up, who else is in it? Yeah, Julianne Nicholson is in it. She's the lady on the bottom there. Fantastic acting. Just watch the first episode and then make a decision on whether you're going to go forward. It's, an hour or whatever? I was hooked immediately. And then when the episode starts to finish and the credits start to roll, I go, holy crap. Very cool. Just trust me. Trust me on that. Just give it a shot. I'm not saying you'll love it. You may look at that and go, it's not for me. But give it a shot. I think both of them, Sterling K. Brown and James Marsden, deserve it for that first episode. They deserve your attention. And James Marsden, I gotta be honest, never really cared for him. I know he was in Sonic. I still haven't seen the Sonic movies. I know. I just felt like those are not for me. I've never been a Sonic fan. But Jim Carrey's in it. I need to see it. Anyway, just give Paradise a shot. If you have Hulu, give it a shot. It's all I ask. That's all I ask. And then I finally got around to watching Anora. Has anyone else seen this film? Because, wow. When someone says that this is their favorite movie of the year, I saw Nora. I thought you weren't allowed. She wasn't home. I rented it. I'm really curious. I want to talk about this movie with people that have seen it, and maybe, Shozama, maybe we can talk in the movie chat, the Discord or whatever, with spoiler tags. But here's the thing, and this is all I'm going to say. For a movie called Anora, I don't even want to say that. Because then I'll just say this. This movie didn't 100% work for me. I'll say this. There is a lot of people are really praising this movie because I mean, look, if you don't know what this movie's about, very briefly, Mikey Madison is an exotic dancer, and she meets this gentleman that is the son of a very wealthy Russian man. It's never really, basically there's, very, 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 very rich. Okay. Over the course of some time spent together, where he is paying her for her companionship, they decide to get married. And that causes his family to react to that. And this movie has been praised for its treatment of sex workers, exotic dancers, whatever, right? Here's my problem with that. I don't think that character-wise we're given enough information to form an attachment to really anybody except for one character who is very, like, a really interesting character. But my problem with it is that I wish that I felt that about her. And with her, she's allowed to do things, but I don't feel like she's given enough agency in her own story. And to me, that's a problem when we're supposed to be on her side. And there are things where I'm like, I don't understand why you did that. I don't understand why you're doing that. Why are you doing that? So it's weird because the movie kind of, in a weird kind of way, it feels very voyeuristic, where you're kind of seeing a glimpse into these people's lives. But I didn't really connect with many of the characters. And so the things that happen and the comedic things that go down, because that's what's weird is about this movie is it's got a lot of tonal shifts throughout the movie that I think are pretty well done. You know, the problem is there's I didn't feel the connection. So it's almost in a way it's very different, okay? But in a way it's almost like watching an action scene where you don't care if anybody lives or dies. You know? Like you're not invested in why this action scene is taking place. So it's just a lot of noise and action and things happening. So that's kind of how I felt about the movie. I wasn't connecting with the characters. So I find it very odd that this is supposedly the front runner for Best Picture, because I'm sitting there going, really? Because this is like on a scale of 1 to 10, you know what I mean? Like a 10-point scale. This is like a, I don't know, like a 6.8, 7, maybe 7, maybe. Now I will say the performances are genuinely pretty good. Yeah. I like a lot of the performances in there. But I don't think that the movie itself was, I was sitting there going, when is this going to be over? I was really getting bored watching this. So, I don't know. And maybe I'm just an old fuddy-duddy, because I know how people say that all the time. But I didn't connect with it. I didn't connect with it. So I'm glad I watched it because I was really curious about it. I kept hearing so much about it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I heard too much. Maybe if I'd watched it when it first came out and I wasn't I wasn't swept up by all the buzz, maybe I would have found more, but yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens at the Academy Awards. Not that I am not one of those people that give so much credence to the Academy Awards, other than rooting for people I like. Like I like Demi Moore, and even though you could probably argue that Mikey Madison put in a better performance than Demi Moore did in The Substance, but I really like Demi Moore, so in a weird kind of way, even though I think Mikey Madison probably did a better job, I'm kind of rooting for Demi Moore, you know, but regardless, I still find it odd. So I still, of the big ones that I really want to see, I still need to see The Brutalist. I still need to see Conclave. So I'm probably gonna have to go to the theater to see Brutalist, and Conclave I'm probably gonna have to rent, pay to rent, just like I did this. But anyway, moving on. If you have any thoughts, please. The next movie on the list was one that I mentioned last week that was coming out on Friday on Apple TV Plus. That is The Gorge. I think the clue why people like it is two things: the tagline, a love story from Sean Baker. Then, but here's my problem though. I didn't buy that. I didn't feel like either one of them were in love. I kept waiting for the shoe to fall, right? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, The Gorge, Apple TV Plus. Perhaps knowing someone in that line of work or adjacent. Oh, that's possible too. That's possible. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that like Sean Baker's work. I think this is the first movie of his that I've seen. So, but anyway, The Gorge, really quick. This is a movie on Apple TV Plus, and boy, is it a movie. I had a lot of fun watching this. And it's mainly because of the performances of Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. I think they're great. I really enjoyed the idea behind the whole movie The concept of, uh, there's a gorge and there's two opposing structures that are manned by one person, and that they're not allowed to talk to each other because they're from different they're from opposing uh things, but they're both there to watch over the gorge and make sure that nothing happens. Right there, cool story, right? And then you turn this into it's a love story, but it's also so much more than that. And I just got to say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I think. Oh, and by the way, directed by Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson did Black Phone, which I really enjoyed. I thought Black Phone was fantastic. Ethan Hawke was great in it. It's just a good movie. I loved Black Phone. He also did the first Doctor Strange, which I also think is fantastic. Great movie. I mean, you talk about a Marvel movie, right? You talk about a Marvel movie that breaks the mold and does some interesting things. Doctor Strange. That movie was good. I don't care who you are. The movie was good. Um, and then he also did Sinister, which I appreciated. I didn't love it, but I appreciated it. I just like Scott Derrickson. So I was ready. I mean, you had Miles Teller, Anya Taylor-Joy, Scott Derrickson. Oh, and a score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Dude, I'm down. I'm down. Totally down. I think it's worth watching. It's worth giving a shot, man. Especially if you have Apple TV Plus, it's worth giving a shot. It's very well made. It's beautifully shot. There are some obvious, okay, that looks a little, the budget might have been constrained a little bit for this thing, but this is a straight to Apple TV Plus thing, and I think it looks great. It sounds great. I thought the sound design was really good, and you got great performances, and helmed by who I think is a great director. I think it's worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot. So The Gorge gets a thumbs up from me. I'd say give it a shot for sure. For sure. And then I only watched a couple of 4Ks that, of course, were, I've got my watch list, movies that I've purchased and I hadn't watched yet. You ready? First one, Truman Show. Now, this is a movie that I only saw the one time back when it first came out in 1998, which is crazy to think that it's this old. But yeah, 98 is when this came out. Of course, directed by Peter Weir, and interestingly enough, written by, where's his name? Andrew Niccol. Andrew Niccol. You might remember that name. I don't know if I mentioned it, but Andrew Niccol also wrote and directed Gattaca that I watched last week. So, very cool. Watching this movie again, of course, it's very, especially when you watch it now, you're like, wow, that's not really. It's got a very kind of sci-fi futuristic kind of thing going on, but at the same time, now it's like, man, somebody who's on 24/7, it's not that odd of a thought, there's people that stream like that, you know what I mean? It's just a thing now. But back in 98, nobody was doing that, reality TV really wasn't a thing. This was an odd movie back then. Now watching it, it's really well done. It's really well done, and I really enjoyed the performances. Of course, you got Laura Linney, Ed Harris, what's his name again? Noah Emmerich. I like Noah Emmerich. That guy right above where it says Made in Germany. Right here. Noah Emmerich. Liked him. He was in The Americans. Ed Harris, Laura Linney, Paul Giamatti. It's a good film. And this is one where this is not going to be something that I watch all the time, but I'm really glad that I bought it in 4K, and it looks great. And I'm really glad that I got to watch it again. So, Truman Show. Oh, won't someone think of the Goobins, Billy? I don't know why they won't think of the Goobins. And then a movie that we've talked about. I mean, look, we've talked about this movie a lot. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This is a movie that is way better than it has every right to be. I thought this movie was going to be bad. I saw it for free, I think on Paramount Plus or whatever, and then said, I'm buying that to show my support because this movie deserved better. It deserved a bigger box office. This movie is just fun. Chris Pine. It's I can't think of a better role, a better like as far as like what I like. I think this is my favorite role of Chris Pine's. Michelle Rodriguez, never been a fan. I love her in Avatar. I liked her in specific things. I mean, of course, you know, the Fast and Furious movies, whatever. I've never thought, hey, I really like that Michelle Rodriguez. This is the best role she's ever had. In my opinion, perfect. She's so great. Regé-Jean Page, never seen him before. So much charisma. You want to talk about somebody that could probably do James Bond pretty well? I know a lot of people might be like, he can't play James Bond. He's not. I don't care. This guy has got charisma and he's beautiful. Completely heterosexual male here. Regé-Jean Page is a beautiful man. He just is. Okay? Just like Hugh Jackman. You know? Ewan McGregor. Beautiful men. Regé-Jean Page. Beautiful guy. And Hugh Grant. Fantastic, man. This is just a great, great movie. There's nothing special really about this release. I mean, of course, it's got some special features there on the back. The gag reel was pretty funny, but for the most part, this is just a solid studio film that deserved better. It deserved a better. It deserved someone like me. Like, guys, you got to go see this movie. You know, in the theater, right? It deserved that, and it didn't get it, and I didn't see it till after it was way out of the theater. But a fantastic movie. And yeah, that was all the stuff. Of course, I watched The Monkey, which is again coming out this weekend, and I watched Brave New World. But I also have a few things that I purchased. This was some eBay. I don't know where he gets this stuff, but he gets some really, really quality stuff at good prices. Really good prices. I'll have to look it up and put it in the Discord. This seller, because this is the second time I purchased from him. I got a good deal on this stuff. So first up, and I'm just going to preface this by saying there's probably not a single movie here. I shouldn't say that because we got Shozama in here. Shozama, you're probably going to like at least a couple of these choices. But like when it comes to the mainstream, some of these are going to be way outside the mainstream. Like this isn't, I'm not picking up studio films here. Not really. But the first one is a Warner Archive. I got the complete Thin Man collection. And this is one where I'm like 80% sure that I saw one of these at my aunt's house. Aunt. She was one of those people that really got me into the silver screen. You know what I mean? The classic Hollywood, you know, the film system from back in the 30s and 40s. She showed me a lot of movies from back then. And some of, like, I really, you know, as a kid, you're watching them and you're like, black and white, this is crap. Wow, this is a really good movie. This is really fun. This is really entertaining. So I'm pretty sure, like I said, I'm almost 80% sure that I've seen at least one of these, but I didn't remember. And I got this for a really good price. So I'm very excited to see him. And of course, this includes 6 films: The Thin Man, After the Thin Man, Another Thin Man, Shadow of the Thin Man, The Thin Man Goes Home, and Song of the Thin Man. And apparently, reading the reviews, these kind of they kind of decrease in quality as they go on. But 6 films in this very compact. It actually smells good. But let's open this up and look inside. And I got to make sure that I need something that will cut through. But I need to open up, make sure, right? But yeah, I'm very excited to watch these. I've really gotten to where I'm looking forward to watching older films because I'm so, well, you get bored of watching the same kind of movie over and over, right? Well, go back in time, man. There's a ton of beautiful movies made back then. So, all right. Thin Man. Okay. I kind of like that they went. I mean, there's no paperwork in here, but it's cool that they. Oh yeah, man, that smells fresh. I like that they did the different. Okay, okay, you throw in the kid, you throw in a dog. Okay, the Thin Man goes home, and Song of the Thin Man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching these. I love old films, and there you go. There you go. The Thin Man collection. And then this is another one that I'm pretty sure Shozama might know about this one. He may be one of the few people that might know about this. Thin Man is quality. I watched that series back in the 90s. Okay, great. Great. I'm excited to watch them. Because again, I haven't seen them. If I've seen any of them, I haven't seen them since I was under 10. So 30, 40 years. Long time. This next movie, again, this is a documentary that came out last year. And there were 2 channels that I subscribed to that did interviews with the director. And it made me interested. It's about John Lennon and Yoko Ono, who for 1 week in 1972 was allowed to take over a talk show. And they interviewed a lot of interesting people. And just hearing the interview, watching that interview, it made me go, I want to see that. It's called Daytime Revolution. Okay. I'm just going to read this to you. Daytime Revolution takes us back to the week when John Lennon and Yoko Ono co-hosted the iconic Mike Douglas show. At that time, a top-rated program that reached a daily audience of 40 million viewers. Acting as producers and co-hosts, Lennon and Ono handpicked their controversial guests, including Yippee founder Jerry Rubin, Black Panther chairman Bobby Seale, as well as political activist Ralph Nader and comic truth-teller George Carlin. Their version of daytime TV was a radical take on the traditional format, incorporating candid Q&A sessions, conversations about radical politics, conceptual art events, John's reminiscences, that's hard to say, about his life with Yoko and the Beatles, and one-of-a-kind musical performances, including a unique duet with Lennon and Chuck Berry, and a poignant rendition of Lennon's Imagine. A document of the past that also speaks to the turbulent present. Daytime Revolution captures the power that art can have when it reaches out to communicate, and the bravery of 2 artists who never took the easy way out as they fought for their vision of a better world. This is, does it say directed by Eric Nelson? I believe Eric Nelson is the guy that I watched the interview with. But here's the thing. I am not a fan of John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Like, not really at all. And it's not because I hate their music. I've never really been exposed to a lot of that music, right? I've just never have been. But just hearing this premise and hearing that this was a real thing that happened, I'm like, I gotta see this. And yeah, it looks interesting. Now again, as far as I know, this did not get a theatrical release, and I just was like, this sounds like exactly the kind of thing that a guy like me, a person of, varying taste in movies, this is a movie that I should give a shot to. And so I did. And so I'm going to watch this with my whole face just to see if this is any good. And I'll report back when I get to it. But yeah, there's nothing in here. There's a, let's see, try, what is MHZ choice? Oh, so is this a Kino release? See, that says Shout Studios, but then it says Kino Lorber. I'm not sure, but there's a Kino MHZ choice and then a Kino film collection thing in here. But that's it. That's all that's in here. And then you've got the disc. So it's a bare bones type release. I'm giving it a shot. We'll see. I just found it interesting. Interesting. And Carbonite Dreams is here. Welcome, sir. Good to see you. I may have posted the trailer, not sure though. I got the urge to watch The Lost Boys. Gangrel from WWE was building it up on an interview. The Lost Boys is one of those movies that, man, I just like it. It's almost not good, but it's so watchable. And look, I know I give Joel Schumacher a lot of crap. I'm not a huge Joel Schumacher fan, but I do like that movie. And I think Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, they had so much charisma back then. So yeah, it's a great movie. Megahertz is MHZ. Okay. I love movies with style, and I hear Lost Boys has a lot of it. Oh, just wait till you get this to the sax player. May give you some feelings. Anyway, the next movie on the list is one of those that when I heard of the special edition coming out, I was like, ooh, I want that. But then I saw the price and was like, ooh, I don't want that. But, well, apparently Studio Canal decided to release a movie-only version. And so that's what I got. I got The Conversation in 4K. Now, this was not $80 like it is on the Lionsgate Limited website. Which, look, here's the thing. I have nothing against steelbooks. I have nothing against big, elaborate editions. Look, I have some second sight over here, okay? I do enjoy the big sets. But a movie like this, for me, I don't need that kind of thing. I've only seen this movie one time. I remember liking it, but I don't know. I don't need to spend $80 to watch it again. So I spent however much I spent. I don't even know how much I spent. Anyway, disc only release. But this is a Francis Ford Coppola movie from 1974. And if you know your history, 1974 is also the year that Francis Ford Coppola released The Godfather Part 2. I would say a hell of a year, right? That's a hell of a creative year. And look, I gave Megalopolis quite a bit of crap, but I do love Francis Ford Coppola, okay? But listen to this. You got John Cazale. That is how you say his name, right? Or is it Cazale? Cazale? Anyway, he's in it. Alan Garfield, Cindy Williams, Frederick Forrest. I'm looking forward to watching. Oh, look at that! It's got the reel-to-reel thing in it, just like the special edition does. But this is the 4K and the Blu-ray, and it's got a ton of special features. Q&A with Walter Murch, the editor, filmed at Curzon, Soho, 2017. It is edited by him, right? Pretty sure it's edited by him. Francis Ford Coppola audio commentary. I love it. I love a Francis Ford Coppola audio commentary. A Walter Murch audio commentary. Close up on the conversation. Coppola dictates script, opening sequence, the life of Harry Cole, the convention. Just here, look at all this. Look at all this stuff. There's all this stuff. I see a Harrison Ford screen test in there. Interview with Gene Hackman. But that's what it is. It's Gene Hackman, and yeah. Let's see. Harry Cole, Gene Hackman, is a surveillance expert in San Francisco. His routine wiretapping job turns into a nightmare when he hears something disturbing in his recording of a couple. He may have captured something a lot more important than adulterous goings-on. His investigation of the tape and how it might be used sends Harry spiraling into a web of secrecy, murder, and paranoia. I remember liking the movie, but I'm actually glad that I didn't spend all the money on the big elaborate special edition. So I know that those are not your typical mainstream releases, but I'm really happy. I'm excited to watch all of this. So there you go. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. That's the stuff that I got this week. Now, just as a reminder, this week, other than The Monkey, which comes out on, and again, I'm not trying to super promote that movie. I just know that I had a lot of fun with it, even though I didn't love it. But also, we got Reacher. Season 3 premieres Thursday. I liked Reacher. So, hey, if you're in for the Reacher, Season 3 on Thursday. So, very cool. Very cool. Now, books. Animal Farm. I don't know why it won't. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Animal Farm. Very short read. I enjoyed it. I hadn't read this since, middle school? But I really enjoyed it. But it's also, wow, that's interesting. And then I read I can't even remember the name of it. Where's my list? There it is. A short story called The Emperor's Soul, which is part of the Cosmere, Brandon Sanderson. It was pretty short. I read it in 3 days. I read Animal Farm in 2 days. And then now I'm reading and apparently I've never read this because I'm reading it and going, holy crap. It's like all of the leaders of the world said, all of this really crazy stuff that happens in this book, we should do that. Because there's so much stuff that is it's eerie. It is so freaking eerie. Like I said, I thought I'd read that before. Apparently I hadn't. Because, and right now I'm kind of like, okay, is there a narrative that's gonna pick up here? Or am I just gonna be frightened reading this? Because it is crazy. 1984 by George Orwell is crazy. And then of course, I have another, I think it's a short story. I think it's another Brandon Sanderson short story. I have a short story collection that I bought on Kindle. And a lot of these stories, I'm going basically down the release order of the Cosmere because, man, I do like the Cosmere. Okay, I'm enjoying the fantasy, so there you go. So yeah, but this is it's good, but man, it's scary. It's kind of scary. The conversation sounds interesting. Oh yes, it is. I need to give this show another shot. I thought it was Preacher, and then it wasn't, so I switched it off. Oh, yeah, Preacher was. I mean, I'm enjoying it. The only problem is it's Amazon, and there's going to be ads unless you pay to not watch the ads. Who do you relate to the most from Animal Farm? God, in a weird way, the donkey. That's sitting here going, you guys, do you know what this means? Okay, well, all right. I guess I'll be over here watching my movies. But yeah, but I also feel for I can't remember the name of the horse, the workhorse. Interesting current show, Paradise. I'm telling you, man, watch that show. Just watch that first step. Like I said, this is one of those where I don't want you to watch any trailer or anything because I didn't. I just heard, hey, This show is crazy good, and you should at least just watch the first episode. And I went, okay. I watched the first episode, and I'm like, oh God, I want to watch the rest of this. So yes, check it out. It's good. You relate to Napoleon and the horse. You relate to Napoleon? I couldn't relate to any of that. It just made me sick. I hate it when, okay, you know how like there's a suspense movie, right? Let's say there's a lady and a man and they're at dinner, and then the camera zooms in and under their table is a bomb that's set to go off. And then the camera pans out, and so you know there's a bomb under the table. And you feel the tension and the suspense, right? Of, oh my God, are they gonna find the bomb? Are they gonna survive? No, they're just sitting there. Oh my God, they're just still making small talk. Crap, look under the freaking table. You know what I mean? The suspense of that, right? That is fun. I love the suspense of that. Something like Animal Farm, it just makes me sick when you see what's gonna happen, and they're just the other characters are just kind of clueless about it. And it makes me sick because I feel for him, and because it's you know, it's literally an allegory about the way that our government treats their people. Well, the way every government treats their people, right? Because this is based on what, the UK and whatever time it was written. I don't even know. But yeah, it's so 1984 is scary because I know that it was written a very many years ago, and it sounds so much like today. It's crazy. And that people are, there was a clip of Carl Sagan that I watched like yesterday, and it was talking about how the problem with today and what I see happening, and this was, Carl Sagan died in 94, 95, I think. So this was many years ago when he did this interview, and he was saying, we have a society based around science and technology, and yet no one understands science and technology. And what happens in a situation like that is you start to not understand the way that the world works. So then any charlatan can come along and take advantage of the population because they're not smart enough to know the difference. They don't know how to think critically and all that. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, yes. Oh, Carl Sagan was a freaking man. Just saying. But yeah, 1984 is freaking scary. It's freaking scary. Style Hawks. LOL, my dad was thinking about upgrading from his iPhone 14, and I convinced him to get the 16 Pro. Yeah, I have the 14. This is the 14 Pro, I think. It's paid off, finally. But I think we're going to wait until the 17 comes out, and then we're going to pull the trigger. Because both April and I are kind of like, man, we really should get the really good cameras for when we're in the canyon. So we're going to do that. But yeah, man, 16 Pro. I love the Pros, man. The Pros are really good. Conversation is very good. Worth a watch if you haven't seen it. Gene Hackman is very good. Yes. Yeah. I've been on a Gene Hackman kick where I've watched a bunch of Gene Hackman movies and I love it. In fact, I have some other ones that are just on my list if I find them somewhere. I've never seen Twilight. I've never seen Mississippi Burning. Actually, I think I've seen Mississippi Burning, but I want to watch it again. That's the one with Willem Dafoe, right? Reds, I've never seen. And A Bridge Too Far, I think it was in my late 20s when I got into a World War II kick, and I watched a bunch of World War II movies. But A Bridge Too Far recently had a huge release. I think it was either Imprint or Umbrella did a huge, big freaking box set of stuff for A Bridge Too Far. And even though I couldn't justify spending that much money on that, it's like, man, I want to watch that movie again. That's a huge freaking cast. So, yeah. Anyway. Let's see. Wait, I meant to say Snowball and not Napoleon. Oh, okay. I was going to say Napoleon, the bad guy? Like, wow. Okay. Did you pick up Brave New World by Aldous Huxley to read after 1984? Shozama. I don't have to worry about that because heard of Libby? Bam. It's available to borrow from the library. So I will read it. It's on the list, dude. It's on the list. So don't you worry. Don't you freaking worry. I got a 12 Pro waiting for something good to finally upgrade. Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. There has been a huge improvement in the camera quality. If you care about that. If you don't care about that, then yeah, a Red Magic 10 Pro is going to be delayed. Billy, Animal Farm is about the Russian Marxist Revolution and also Cubans. Little known fact. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's also very close to the way that governments treat their people, which is also. But I also have something else to warn you about, something to tell you about. If you have ever if you follow book people on YouTube, you may or may not already know this. But I saw this it came up in my feed on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, I need to at least mention this on my stream. For those of you who are book readers, if you enjoy the books, and especially if you enjoy books from a Kindle, because I love my Kindle. But here's the thing. I don't know if I love my Kindle or I just like reading digitally. But here's the thing. Starting on February 26th, so that is 8 days from now, you will not be able to download your purchases to your computer for backup. Okay? This is what happens if you go to your Amazon and you sign in and you hover over your name and then you go down to like purchases, you'll see your books and all that kind of stuff. Once you go in there, right now you can go in there and download each book, right? A digital copy, right? In the Amazon format of each book. They will not allow you to do that after February 26th. Part of the reason that some people have guessed as to why they're doing this is because a lot of people are really mad at Amazon because they screwed up the last Kindle, the color Kindle that everybody was like, oh my God, the color Kindle. Well, there were problems with it. And Amazon, instead of fixing the issue, they seem to start shipping them with a warmer tone to try to hide the fact that there's this big yellow band at the bottom of the screen. So people are mad at Amazon and they're jumping ship. They're going from Amazon and they're moving over to a different e-reader. Whichever e-reader, whatever. Kobo is the one that's most mentioned. But anyway, the issue is your purchases, those files are Amazon only files. So there are ways to take away the DRM part of the file so that it makes it a universal file that you can use on any device. And you might say, well, that should be my right because I purchased it. But according to the Amazon terms of service, you're not literally paying for the book. You're paying for a license to access the book. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that it's a bit of a gray area when it comes to stripping DRM out of an Amazon purchase. Kindle or whatever, right? But to go even further, on February 26th, you won't be able to download them to your computer anyway. So, I'll just say if you have any of those, if you have an Amazon Kindle and you have made purchases, maybe you should go to your account and download them all. Now, here's the problem. You can't you can't download them all at once. You can't just hit a button and go, right? So, depending on the size of your library, this might take a while. So, just as a warning, if you have Amazon Kindle, you've purchased things from Amazon from Kindle or through Audible or Comixology or any other content. When you go to do it, you'll get this message. So basically, a lot of people are mad about this because it's basically saying, okay, so basically what you're telling us is we can only use your devices to pay the content that we already paid for. And Amazon's basically saying, yes. So, in other words, you can buy another Kindle and all your content will be there. But if you don't want to use a Kindle anymore and you want to move to a different device, you won't be able to download your stuff and transfer it. So, if you're at all interested, you may want to take care of that because you only have 8 days. Little public service announcement, I guess. So there you go. It's abstract, but yes, I hear it's about the Marxist revolution. Can we play some girl boss rap for Billy? No. I'm not playing a damn thing on this channel anymore. I'm tired of random channels claiming my entire stream for seconds worth of footage. It's not happening. So it's why, I mean, we used to have, what was it called? Have you seen this? I did a weekly thing called Have You Seen This? And it was my favorite meme stuff from Reddit and from YouTube and from wherever I could find funny, cool stuff to show you guys, right? It was something that I looked forward to doing every single week. And yet, what was it, 2-3 weeks in a row, I got claimed. And they claimed my entire stream, so I had to cut it out of the replay just so I could, have my stream to myself. So yeah, I'm not doing that. Not doing that anymore. But anyway, I use an iPad mini. I like that bright screen and fast processing for extra fast page flips. Derek, I agree with you there, but I really love the e-ink because I mean I have an iPad as well, but I like the e-ink, because it's more like paper. When you start it up, it takes a minute, but it's more like paper. And I mean, if I go all the way in, I mean, it's so clear. I love it. And I can read it outside with no problem. There's a lot of reasons why I like reading on an e-reader. And mostly because I own a lot of big, huge, crazy books. And reading them on my lap is hard. I like reading, curling up, covering up, reading, having a vape, drinking some water or whatever. And so e-reader is good for me. But like I said, I mean, I have plenty of regular books. In fact, I have 1984. Look at this, no butt. I have no butt. It's just anyway. I have it in a turtleback, which is cool. I love turtlebacks in paperback. You know what I mean? Turtleback. But I mean, I have it here. Ooh. Can you hear that? Anyway, I have it, but I prefer reading on this. And you know why? This is going to be a really anal reason why. I hate it when you're reading a book and you can't really. Okay. See that shadow? right? And when you're reading that shadow, it bothers me. It really bothers me. The light, I like the uniformity of the light, which is part of the reason why I love reading. It's probably a silly, stupid reason. It may be, hey man, maybe you're a little, touch, got a touch of the tism, possibly, very, very possible. But I just like reading on an ebook or on an e-reader. But I totally get it. I mean, there's people that, like my wife, she's had multiple. In fact, she was buying Kindles before I was. And she's like, I just like the feel of the book. I like the texture of the paper. I like the smell of the paper, and all that kind of stuff. I get that. I totally get that. It's a textural experience. But I like uniformity. And that's part of the reason why I like that. So, there you go. Anyway. Let's see. Interesting about Goobins. Yes. Yeah. Animal Farm. Goobins. I hate reading ebooks. Gotta have physical. Just another reason to stick with a real book. I mean, Carbonite. There is no question that regardless, this never has to be charged. This can work in a variety of conditions. I mean, you're absolutely right. But I'm also, I mean, I gave my reasons, but you're absolutely right. I just like physical books unless I get one that is made of cum. I hate that. I hate it when that happens. Can you say a disclaimer to get away with it? No, not really. What I'm mentioning is against the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions. Terms and conditions? Terms of service? Terms and conditions? Whatever. It's in there. That taking the DRM out of your files is not, legal. If I had it, I would put it up right now. Do I have it? Oh, well, I have this. I don't know why I have video of game days. Here, let's speed it up a little bit because that happens. Why do I have that and I don't have my? I don't get it. I don't get why I don't have my thing. Anyway, I was gonna do I will make it legal. I don't know why it's not on here. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're moving on. I was just rejuicing my tank and completely forgot my newest vape came with the Vaporesso iTank 2. So I guess I'll try that out. LOL. Did you really laugh out loud? Are you kidding? You lying to me? It's not one where I build the coil and wick it, but shouldn't be bad. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I bought those two things, those two whatevers. I stopped using the tanks because my tanks are better with my coils are better. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who have been missing the liquid poles, I understand. I totally understand. I did mention that, it can get quite expensive to purchase liquids, simply really, I vape, whatever. But I also make this juice. It's great and it's cheap. It doesn't, I can gallons. I can make gallons for the same price as what I'm paying for some of these liquids. So I actually found a place. And I don't want to mention where I got it yet or anything like that. All of that, once it comes in, we'll talk about that. Mostly in the Discord because, well, YouTube doesn't like vaping. In fact, it hates it. And Yeah. In fact, you can't talk about where you purchased something anyway. That being said, I'm very excited about what I got or what I hope is coming my way soon. I don't know when it will get here, but like I said, I'm very excited because I hear a lot of people talk about this company and I'm just excited. So hopefully soon we will have the liquid pole will be back. But here's another option. Here's another problem. For some reason, in my stream, I open up a thing and say start a poll. And it says let your viewers weigh in. This is how we do the liquid poll. 3 options, all that kind of thing. The problem is I don't have more than 2 options. I don't have a add another choice. I have nothing. It says ask a question. Liquid poll, right? And then I have a yes option and a no option that I can change, but I don't have any additional options. So you're telling me that we can only choose between 2 flavors through the YouTube poll? Anybody that's a mod, which there are many, can you look? Do you have an option to make a poll? Because I would love to know. I would love to know if it's I've looked up on Google and all that stuff trying to find answers to this, to why is there only 2 choices. But yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand why I only have 2 choices. So, not from here. Okay. I didn't know if that was an option or not. Actually, I probably could have, just next time I went into Billy or Jay stream, I could have probably looked at that. But yeah, I don't know. Try some RDLs. RDLs. Restricted direct long. I love well, this is an RDL. It's great. Vaping my acai flavor that I made myself. Damn, that is exquisite. And yes, that is Ricky, this is the same flavor that I made for you. Next time we have a thing where we'll see each other, because shipping it is not strictly legal. I mean, we could probably get around it, but next time we do a thing, tell me what you want. And we'll talk about it. It'll be very, very close to cost. I won't charge you a lot. If you want some of this. You want some of this? Anyway, looking at the 1984 movie as well, it is creepy as hell. Yeah, I was thinking that I thought I saw, I mean, of course, Ridley did a version of 1984 for that very famous Apple commercial where the lady throws the thing, right? Anyway, yeah, I thought there was a movie, and I just need to watch finish reading this, and then we'll go from there, because it's so close to the way things are today. It freaks me out, man. It's freaking me out. I read a lot of nonfiction, so the wiki and dictionary lookup on ebooks is a must-have for me. Dude, that's one of the best things. It's one of the best things. And yeah, you can stop reading, put your bookmark in, pull up your computer or your iPad or whatever, and look up the word and go, oh, that's what it means. Or on here, you just touch the word and you go look up, and then it gives you the thing. And you're like, holy crap, it's right there. I love it. Dude, I love my ebooks so much. I know. Thank you for watching. Top 3 movie soundtracks from the 80s. Dude, that is freaking hard. Soundtracks or scores? Soundtracks or scores, Wraith? Because that can make a difference. Now, here's the thing. Top 3, like what are the, like, supposedly the objective best? What I think are objectively the best, or the ones that I've listened to the most? Because that's also a different question. There's so many questions. I have so many questions for you, Wraith. No, I mean about the in case you missed it. Oh, what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Christian. Not sure. Game Dave is trying to challenge Billy for the twerk crown. I mean, it's hell of a twerk. I mean, it's a hell of a twerk. I love my RDLs. There you go. See? You ever participate in skateboarding? Yes, but I suck at it, and I have jankles. That is janky ankles. So not a good idea for me. RDL Romanian deadlifts. Oh, I thought you meant like restricted direct lung, because that I can do that all day, all day. Vinny, welcome, Vinny. You are a fellow physical media enjoyer. Do you have any of these? The Thin Man collection, Daytime Revolution, a documentary, or the 4K of the conversation. Have any of those? Vinny, if that is indeed your real name. But anyway, welcome, Vinny. Good to see you. Damn, that's a hard choice. Billy hasn't been going hard with any twerks on Game Chasers lately. Well, I mean, okay, soundtracks. Okay. This is going to be very controversial, but the hell with it. It's my show. BC, welcome. Good to see you. I'm going to go number 1. This is undisputed, okay? Number 1, Labyrinth. Number 2, the Batman soundtrack. And number 3, Top Gun. I love David Bowie. I was never a huge Prince fan, but for some reason I listened to that Prince soundtrack, the Batman soundtrack, so much. I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it so much. In fact, I love Batman in '89 so much that I have the soundtrack and the score, because Danny Elfman, that's a great score. So I listen to both of those repeatedly all the time. Labyrinth is, come on, man. You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe of the Power. What power? Power of voodoo. Who do? You do. Do what? Remind me of the Babe. I saw my baby. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Yeah, and I'm sure like you guys had some great ones. Footloose, The Lost Boys, Blade was in the 90s. Mortal Kombat was the 90s. Can't those are Over the Top is I don't remember it. Over the Top, the soundtrack for that. I don't know. Footloose is a good one. Oh, Carpenter. Oh man. Dude, I mean, okay. Big Trouble in Little China. That's a great score. That's Carpenter all the way. I love that score. It's great. But anyway, I'm sorry I don't have those. I'm not cool enough to own titles like that. Well, Vinny, maybe. The Crow is also 90s. He said 80s, right? Didn't you say 80s? Yeah, from the 80s. Yeah. Crow is 94. The Thing. Now, but see, The Thing is more, that's more of a score, right? See, when you're talking score, Now we're getting into some territory that's really difficult because you've got Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, uh, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. You've got E.T. You've got God, anything from '84, The Terminator, um, the Star Trek or Star Trek 2 is in '82. Um, dude, dude, you've got so much to choose from in the '80s. The Big Trouble in Little China soundtrack or score from '86, right? Thing was '81. Back to the Future. Oh my God, Back to the Future. That's a great one. But for me, it's like, I mean, if you're talking about most listened to, you're talking about Danny Elfman. That '89 Batman soundtrack, I listened to a lot. The Empire Strikes Back, I listened to a lot. E.T. listened to a lot. Uh, oh shit, the Ghostbusters score, Elmer Bernstein, dude, great score, great score. Yeah, I mean that dude, misunderstanding Carpenter for score. How so? How so? Carpenter did the score for a lot of. Didn't he do the score for Big Trouble in Little China? Big Trouble, Big Trouble in Little China. All cast and crew. Where's that? Why do I always miss this button? Why do I always miss this button? Every time. Is it down here? All cast and crew. Music by. Oh, you're misunderstanding. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, soundtrack is physical, like actual songs, like, and that sounds weird, but like songs with lyrics, popular music, stuff like that. Like Pulp Fiction has a great soundtrack. There's not much of a score at all if I remember correctly. It's mostly soundtrack. But then you've got Batman '89. You've got Danny Elfman doing the score, and then you have Prince doing the soundtrack. So it's there you go. Pee Wee Big. I mean, come on, dude. Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman is a beast. That dude is amazing, and I love Danny Elfman's work. Big Trouble or Pee Wee's Big Adventure is a great one. Risky Business. Bill and Ted soundtrack is amazing. All I remember is the one song that's playing when they're in the future, and they're all doing this. You know. Anyway. But yeah, I don't really remember that one. Risky Business, I don't know well at all. I thought he did They Live. John Carpenter didn't do They Live, did? Or wait. What do you mean? Because that is a John Carpenter movie. Did he do the score there too? I guess we'll find out. Music by. Oh, well, there you go. Same guys. All right. I still haven't seen Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's not great. It's not great. I own it because I bought I got super hyped. Even though, like, to me, the big Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is great. Bogus Journey is fine. Face the Music is less than fine in my opinion. It's not great. It's not great. It kind of reminded Bill and Ted Face the Music kind of reminds me of Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Isn't that what's called? Where it's like there's a couple of scenes where wow, this is working, and then the rest of the movie's kind of like, oh, it's not great. Not my favorite. Blues Brothers, yeah. Predator, dude. That's isn't that? Oh my God! Don't tell me. James Horner, is it not? Isn't Predator James Horner? We're gonna have to look it up. We're gonna have to look it up. Predator. I spelled it wrong, but it still gave it to me. Thanks. Thanks. All cast and crew. Music by Alan Silvestri. Wow. So Alan Silvestri did okay. I didn't. Wow. Why did I think it was James Horner? Because Aliens is James Horner. I love James Horner. Huh. Alan Silvestri. He also did the score for Back to the Future. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see. I thought he did for They Live. Yeah, okay. I'm way behind. Carpenter. Blame the Goobins. Yes. They Live is a John Carpenter movie. Good point. Soundtrack, score, two different things. Yes. Was it better than Bogus Journey? In time. That's it. That's it. That's it, Billy. Do you remember when Pizza Hut gave out free DVDs with specific orders? Yes, but I never got any. You know, Pizza Hut was one where my family just didn't like it. I love Pizza Hut, but my family didn't like it. In fact, April doesn't like it, which is kind of a bummer because I like Pizza Hut. I mean, is it the best pizza? No. Hell no. But I still kind of like it, you know? Really? Flight of the Navigator was also Silvestri. I didn't know that. I was thinking of Toto. Dude, isn't that weird? Okay, I don't know if anybody else does this, but like I never remember hearing this one song by Toto ever before my whole life. I mean, all I knew Toto was Rosanna and Africa. And then I heard Hold the Line and went, this song's banging. I love this song. And I'm listening to this song repeatedly because I really like it. And like looking at it and I'm like, wow, this is from whatever year, like in the early 80s, late 70s, whatever. But I love that song. Lynch's Dune. I'm not, look. It's weird to, okay, this is going to be one of those things that I might get a little like, wow, that's a take. But to me, there's almost nothing about Lynch's Dune that really works for me. I don't really like the performances. I don't like the way it looks. I don't like the special effects. And I don't like the music. I also pretty much anything that Dino De Laurentiis produced, I don't like. It's the same cheesy, crappy showbiz pizza place kind of effects in Dune as in Flash Gordon. And I know, but Queen did the soundtrack to Flash Gordon. It's amazing. Flash, I get it. I totally get it. But I don't like either one of those movies. I don't like them. And you're talking to a guy who owns the Arrow Special Edition of Dune in 4K. And I do not like that movie. I think it sucks. Actually, I think it sucks. I think it's pretty bad. And David Lynch, as much as I liked him as a person, I did not connect with him as a director. I can't think of one movie that he made that I go, yeah, I love that. Actually, no. The Elephant Man. That movie was really good. Really good. But most of his later work, I found it obtuse, like obtuse to the point of I dare you to figure this out. Instead of just telling a good story. Lost Highway? Mulholland Drive? That's just me. And Dune is one of those where I bought that special edition because it was a great deal. It was some sale that Arrow was doing, and it was a great deal. And I was really curious because the first Dune movie hadn't, or the Denis Villeneuve's Dune had not come out yet. And I'm like, I never really gave that movie a shot. I need to sit down and give this movie a shot. I watched all the special features, I read all the stuff, I did all the things, and I still came away going, this movie sucks. So look, it's just not for me. David Lynch is a director that I admire. I am so glad that he was able to do all the work that he did, but I just never connected with him as a director. The films did not connect for me. That being said, hey, more for you. You enjoy the David Lynch stuff. And here's the funny thing. Knowing all of that about how I feel about David Lynch, I've been searching for the Twin Peaks Z to A Blu-ray set that came out recently. And this was, it was announced before he died. And then it came out just after he died. And so, like, it sold out in seconds. And you can't find it for anything like $400 and stuff like that. I don't know anything about Twin Peaks other than it's really freaking weird. And this set includes the entire series, the movie, and then the series that he did just a few years ago to wrap everything up, I guess. I want it. I want it. But I don't. Lost Highway. Dude, freaking Trent did the score. Or the soundtrack, right? I did not understand that movie, like, at all. But I have the soundtrack over here. And I like the soundtrack. But I can't say I like the movie. But guess what? It's on my wish list to buy in 4K. And the same reason why I'm buying Megalopolis in 4K is because, man, some movies they're not meant to be understood. You just watch them. Maybe you get something out of it. But anyway, isn't that weird? I'm that guy. I'm that guy that will buy movies he doesn't like just to try to understand. Bernard Herrmann. Oh, man. Man, what are the best? Because here's the thing. I know, of course, the Vertigo and stuff like that, but what else did he do? What is he famous for? Oh, well, there you go. Vertigo, North by Northwest, Psycho, Taxi Driver. That's what he's known for. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bernard Herrmann, man. He was great. He was definitely great. Definitely great. And THX11384EB, hey, I don't know if I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi. And I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. Good to see you. And Bucho is here. I thought you weren't going to be here today, Bucho. Dang. Got here late, but glad I could still catch the last 7 hours live. Well, we've got 3 things left to do, and then we'll be gone. 7 hours. It's not going to take 7 hours. I'm just telling you. It's not. Stand By Me has some great old songs, but I probably just like that movie. It's influencing my decision. Absolutely, Frodus Boy. See, here's the thing. It's hard. Like, there are some movies that if you saw the movie when it came out, that song is just now in your head. Like, how many people can listen to Stuck in the Middle with You without thinking of Reservoir Dogs? How many people can hear how many people can listen to Tequila without thinking of Pee-wee's Big Adventure? You know what I mean? It's weird how certain songs just get connected to a movie, and then when you listen to it, you can't think of anything else but that movie. It's weird. I don't know. Stand By Me has some great... Oh, I already read that. All this time, I thought it was my tank. I think my lost vape Thelma mod is what went out. After like 5 or 10 minutes, it always asks if there's a new coil. Well, that could be... Yeah, that could be... down in there, the 510, clean that out. See how liquidy it gets? It might just need a good wipe and a good clean in there. Get I'm sure that since you do some electronic stuff, get some denatured alcohol like on a rag or something and try to get in there and just try to clean it out. But it could just be dead. It just depends. But usually that's a 510 problem. Yeah, when it starts doing that crap. Movie sucks, some good songs. What are you talking about? EIJ 9 Gen. Look, it doesn't like roll off the tongue. I'm glad you're here. But I'm just going to say EIJ. I don't know which one you're talking about. Toto and Brian Eno composed the music for the 1984 film Dune. Really? I guess I knew. Did I know that? I did know that. I did know that. Is that what we were talking about, Toto? Tequila is the Sandlot for me. Okay, Ninjitsu, I mean, you got me there. Hello, and thanks for all you contribute to the Stupid Chasers. Well, hey, thanks. I do my best. I mean, I'm not there for everything they do, but when I am, I try to do the best work that I can for them. So, I appreciate that someone appreciates that I'm basically just getting to hang out with my friends. So, cheers. Look Who's Talking ruined a few classic songs. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Look Who's Talking is one of the first movies that I ever saw by myself. I was 12, I think, when that movie came out. 88, right? I was 12. I saw it in the theater by myself in a dollar theater while my mom was off playing bingo in the same parking lot. It's like bingo and then movie theater. And I said, hey, can I go watch this movie? And she's like, yes. She gave me money and I went and got popcorn and I had a little Coke, sat and watched Look Who's Talking. Not a good movie. Not a great movie. Not that I remember, but my butt needs a good wipe. Vinny, at least you have a butt. I found out I don't have a butt. It's kind of crazy. I won't lie. It started happening when it had a decent drop and I chipped my drip tip. That'll do it. See, mine, I have a solid 510. Solid 510 connection. Speaking of, I'm telling you, man, that acai flavor is good. It's good. I don't even know what that is. Ever sneak in food to a theater because snacks are so damn expensive? I wouldn't say that I'm above that, but lately I've been really watching my snack intake, trying to, be healthier and stuff. So no, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't. Now, what I do sneak in is a little, packet of snooze so that I can get a little bit of nicotine while I'm watching the film. But yeah. I may go all out and buy that Hammer of God 400 LMAO, but I got to wait a little bit because that's $140. Dude, you're never going to vape that much. And the fact that you have to keep you're supposed to keep those batteries married, right? So to have 4 batteries married, it's a pain in the ass. I would not recommend that. Figure out how much wattage you vape and just buy a mod that fits how you vape. So if you don't I've almost never vape above 80 watts and I'm at 75 right now. And this is a dual battery 18650. It lasts perfectly fine, long enough, right? Lasts me throughout a day, whatever. And then I'll pop them on the charger and get my other 2 cheap batteries and put them in there. And I can always have good fresh batteries ready to go. Having to keep 4 married and having another 4, too much hassle. If you're a 75 water, just get a dual battery, man. Just go for a good dual battery. If you drop it a lot, get yourself one of those what is it, the Aegis Geek Vape Aegis. They've rubberized and all that kind of stuff. They're what do you call it? Water. I guess they are water resistant. Do that, man. I just liked how the Hammer of God looked, dude. I'm exactly the same way. There's been so many times I've almost pulled the trigger on one of those, but then I think about the fact that, okay, if I get the 18651, I have to buy eight 18650s that are going to be basically kept away from the rest of my stuff just so I can use that mod. And then if you buy the 21700 one, they're even more expensive. Not much more, but enough to where it's like, I'm not messing with that. And knowing that I very rarely go over 80 watts, there's just no point. It's just a big honking thing. I love it. I think it looks cool, but it's just not for me. All right, wait. My latest pickup is GoldenEye on Blu-ray. Finally found it for a decent price locally. My only Brosnan Bond in my collection. Well, I'll tell you, that is maybe my favorite Bond movie ever. I don't know, Casino Royale is really good. And honestly, that's probably the only, like, I really liked Skyfall. I understand why some people don't like Skyfall, because it's like Bond fails the entire time. There's not one, whatever. I mean, I get it, but I liked Skyfall a lot. But GoldenEye, man, to me is like the quintessential Bond film. And Pierce Brosnan is in my opinion, I get it. People like Sean Connery, people like whoever. To me, Pierce Brosnan is the perfect mix of suave and sophisticated, yet capable. And that's what I think. I don't know, man. To me, he fits. He fits that mold to me. And that's why I was so excited when I heard that Henry Cavill was possible, because he's also a really good looking guy, but also can pull off, and he's suave. He can be suave and sophisticated, but he can also do action. He would need to trim down a lot for that role. And I don't think, number one, I think he's too old for it now. But in the right circumstances, he would be a great Bond. But I unabashedly love almost every Bond film. And some of them are dumb as crap. I mean, they're kind of like my martial arts films. I know that not all of them are great, but they're completely watchable to me. And so I have all the Bonds at least on Blu-ray. I have a DVD set of the first 20. I have a Blu-ray set of the first 25. And I have No Time to Die in 4K, and I don't like that movie. But anyway, in fact, that's probably is that my least favorite? It may be. It may be. And we need to wrap things up because it's almost 10 o'clock. Megalopolis, meh. What do you think of the conversation? Here's the thing, THX. I don't like Megalopolis either. But there's something about it, man, that even after I'm sitting there watching it came home to review it and went, I think it's a complete mess. Sometimes it looks like a student film. Sometimes it's acted like a student film, but for some reason, I want to see it again. So Megalopolis is it's such an odd movie, but it's also, I don't know, something about it. I just want to watch it again. And I want to see, honestly, we talked about David Lynch. I understand. I totally get it when people say, I really love David Lynch. I totally get it. I could never really connect with his movies. But I want to watch them again. Because you never know. There have been times when I've watched a movie and thought it was amazing. Then watched it again and it's crap. You go, oh my God, how did I like that movie? There's movies that I watched the first time and I hated. And I watch it again, I love it. You never know. next time I watch Lost Highway or Mulholland Drive or Blue Velvet, maybe I'll watch it again and go, oh my God, this is genius. I get it now. I don't know. But I kind of feel like Lynch is worthy of the effort to try, even though I'm pretty certain I'm probably not gonna like it. I still want him. It's weird. Or maybe I'm just sick in the head. Or maybe I just like Lynch and his, the weather reports he used to do. And I mean, he was such a crazy guy. And I admire him. And I loved, man, I loved his, this is, never mind. I won't say anything. I'll just say there's an acting role that I love of his. Like, I literally think it's the best part of the movie. I love it. But I'm like, I can never connect with his movies, man. Never. Except for The Elephant Man. But anyway. But Francis Ford Coppola, man, come on. That dude he's made some really not great movies, and he's made some amazing films. Anyway, I was actually looking at that Geek Vape Aegis T200 right when you said that. Well, there you go. Yeah, the Aegis ones are, especially for if you're rough on mods. I mean, I have 4 of them. This is the oldest Aegis I have, and look, I mean, it's been through shit. Come on, freaking. But look, I mean, it's scuffed. The paint's coming off. You can see how, I mean, this thing's been through a lot. But this is a dual battery guy. And can I even, okay. So the battery door is stuck. Okay. Yeah. That's supposed to snap open with authority. And there must be juice stuck on oh yeah, it's sticky. Okay. I need to clean this. But yeah, I used the crap out of this mod and dropped it so many times. So Aegises are great. So yeah, there you go. Had an ex-girlfriend who would bring in whole Chipotle bowl. Oh, wait a minute. I missed Wraith's earlier thing here. When I saw Dark Knight Rises, some lady sat next to me and in the middle of the movie took out a full-fledged salad and started eating it. I've seen that too. I don't understand bringing in a whole freaking meal, but sticking a package of M&Ms that you got from, a convenience store rather than paying $12 for a sack, like a literal grocery sack full of M&Ms. I don't need that. That's part of the problem too with movie theater snacks. Those are not like single servings. It's like 4 servings. That's like 800 calories of peanut butter M&Ms. I don't need that much. That's why I get angry when I go to a convenience store and the smallest size of something they have is the share size. I'm like, F you, I don't need share size. I don't need double that. Well, you could just wrap it up and eat it later. Okay. Here's the thing. I used to be a big guy. And portion control is a problem in my brain. Like if you I'm like one of those I'm like a dog. Like if you ever fed a dog like 4 days worth of food and you go, oh well, that'll last him. I don't need to feed him again. No, he'll just continue eating until it's gone. That's how I am. So yeah, I need portion control in the size that I purchase. So if I go to the theater and I buy the bag of M&Ms, I'm eating that whole bag. All right. Oh, I'm going to save it later. Okay, well, you're better than me. So there you go. But no, I've never bought a whole meal in there. Yeah, best Bond. It's my favorite. I brought with me a Big Mac meal once to the movie. A small popcorn was $1 less than the whole meal. Yeah. I mean, that's part of it, right? The whole World Is Not Enough is slept on. The boat chase scene opening was incredible. Absolutely. There's the thing. The World Is Not Enough is a bad movie. But so are I'll say 65 to 75% of the Bond movies are not great movies, but they have great moments in them. I don't care how bad the movie is. It's a Bond film. I'm watching it. The only one that really, like I said, I've never really disliked the Bond film except No Time to Die. And I feel like it's because that's the thing I don't like about the Daniel Craig era is you've got a character who's doing quite possibly one of the coolest jobs in the world and he hates himself. He hates himself for it. And it's like, who wants to watch a Bond that doesn't want to be Bond? Like that's one of the problems I have with the whole Daniel Craig era. But Casino Royale is really good. Martin Campbell, I know. And also along with The Monkey coming out this weekend, there's also a Martin Campbell film coming out this weekend. The problem is it's The Cleaner. I don't know if you saw the preview for that or the poster for that, but it's basically Die Hard with Daisy Ridley, and she's a window cleaner. But it's like Die Hard. So I don't know. I'm hoping. Look, I want everything to be good. But I haven't heard a whole lot of buzz about that movie, and Henry showed me he could be a great Bond when I saw The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who do you want to play Bond next? I've said it before. I'll say it again. I would love to see Theo James. I think he's got everything that I want out of a Bond. If you want to, here, for those of you who don't know who Theo James is, look at that suave, sophisticated. Oh, you can't really see. Yeah, this guy is more charisma than anything, but I think he's got that look. I think he's got the look. Now the problem is he's now 41 years old. Is he too old at this point to be playing Bond? I believe Daniel Craig was in his mid-30s when he started. Maybe too old. Somebody else. Jean Page, man. Again, this is could be a controversial pick because, well, he doesn't look like any of the other Bonds. But the dude is freaking great. Again, watch him in Dungeons and Dragons and you go, yeah, I could see it. Beyond that, I would rather them go with a no name. Somebody who looks the part. Basically clone Pierce Brosnan and make him 31 years old and go. That's why the Alamo theaters don't appeal to me. Yeah, I don't like people standing in front of me, hey, will you sign your check? Hey, how about you get the hell out of here? Because I'm trying to watch this movie and you're taking me out of the spell. You're breaking the spell. You realize that? You are breaking the immersion that I have paid to be here to experience. So get out of here. Well, I want you to get out of my face. So no, I don't like that. Alamo Drafthouse. Daniel Radcliffe should be Bond. Great actor. I will say this. I love Daniel Radcliffe. I really do. I think he's grown up to be a pretty fantastic actor. The problem is I think he's too short. He's just too short. I don't know. That's the minimum amount of peanut butter M&Ms I require. I don't need that many. Oh, and I'll tell you this. I'm really glad that the new Post Malone Oreos are a limited thing because those are banging. If you see those, in the grocery store, and you're like, I wonder if those are good. They are. If salted caramel Oreos with a screw this, man. Yeah, yeah. Do we need seriously? How many times do we need freaking why? Why does Oreo need cookies? Anyway, swirled salted caramel and shortbread flavor cream sandwiched between a bottom golden Oreo and a top Oreo chocolate wafer. They're absolutely badass. You totally should get those if you find them. Just saying. I don't know if a Cheers themed Oreo would work in this day and age, Wraith, but I mean, I like where your head's at. I will get the size above the sharing size and eat most of it in one sitting. I have a problem. Well, I mean, again, you're not conditioning yourself to go across the Grand Canyon. That might be perfect for you, but that is not what I want. I want a snack, I want a small amount of joy that I can enjoy and then move on with my day without destroying all the work I've done. So, yeah. I get it, Vinny, though. I do. Trust me. I get it because I was that guy. I was that guy who, again, would finish a quarter pound of beef jerky in one sitting. That's not healthy. Actually, wait, 6 ounces? No, I mean, half pound. No, half pound. That's about right. That's about right. It's a lot. It's a lot. That parkour chase in Casino Royale was so awesome. And dude, Wraith, I'm telling you, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They keep saying that they wanted to do something extra with Bond. I wish they would have taken Ana de Armas' character from No Time to Die and spun her off into her own show. It would have been amazing. I would have loved to see it. Ana de Armas she's beautiful, she's talented, and I thought she was really great in that scene. I will let Daisy clean my windows any day. I mean, I'm not saying anything. Yeah. Sure. But it sounds like Die Hard. If you read the synopsis of that, it sounds like Die Hard. So, Pass Away Softly. Quantum has to be the worst. From Russia is the best. I mean, I will totally allow you to say that From Russia is the best because it is absolutely one of the best. To me, GoldenEye, Goldfinger, and From Russia with Love is one of my favorites that I understand is not the best movie, but I still really love it, is The Spy Who Loved Me. I love that movie. But yeah. In fact, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is really good. It's a little slow, but it's really good. Radcliffe is like 5'4" and not manly at all. I mean, BC, I can see what you're saying there, but there's an unhingedness about him that I think would be really interesting for Bond. But I get what you're saying. Radcliffe is 5'5". I'm 5'4", and I'm manlier than a lot of tall people. I'll fight them all. True, but at least we're getting ballerina. I mean, yeah, but I like Quantum quite a bit. Look, to me, the one that sucks the most out of the Daniel Craig era is No Time to Die, in my opinion. It did so many things that just irritated me. But, and I really liked Casino Royale. I liked Quantum of Solace okay. I really liked Skyfall, and Spectre wasn't my favorite, but it's not bad. No, Time to Die was just. In fact, like I said, it's just. I don't like. I don't like what they did with the character. I understand why they did what they did, but. So real quick, it's after 10, and I need to. We got a couple things to do before we go. First up, did you guys see this? It's the first glimpse of Matt Damon in The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. Of course, they keep announcing names for the movie, and it's crazy. It's like everybody in Hollywood is going to be in this movie. I'm crazy excited for this. I love Christopher Nolan. I mean, I have a Christopher Nolan box set. I love Christopher Nolan, okay? Sue me. In fact, dang it. Why is it not included? I thought Insomnia was included. It's not. It's not included in that box set. So I want to see Insomnia again. I want to see Following. I've never seen it, his first movie. But look, Christopher Nolan's just one of those guys. He's one of those directors. I want to see everything he does. And The Odyssey, starring Matt Damon, sounds great. I love The Odyssey. I love the Iliad. Yeah, I want to see what it is. So there you go. Also, speaking of remakes, not sequels, a remake that, man, I'm worried about, because for a while there, it was my favorite book series. I'll just say this, one of the most rewarding reading experiences I've ever had. But then things happened, and but they're doing it. HBO is making the series Harry Potter, and apparently they have John Lithgow as Dumbledore. Now again, this is Variety. This isn't just a rumor. This is Variety, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I find it kind of odd that they're just saying, okay, yeah, we're just going to use non-British actors. Sure. Now here's the thing. I love John Lithgow. I really love John Lithgow. And I think that, I mean, I think it's a great choice. I just don't know if I like the fact that he's not British. And that, I don't know. It's odd. But they're doing it. Whether you think it's a good idea or not, they're doing it. In a weird way, I really like the idea because they can be closer to the books, which I really loved. The movies to me after 3 got further and further away from what I really enjoyed about the world of Harry Potter. So from that perspective, I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do with this. With a series for each book, you know what I mean? Like a season for each book. But wow. Hearing J.K. Rowling go through all the stuff that she's been, look, a lot of controversy. She may be right, she may be wrong. You may agree with her, you may not. But man, some of the stuff is just kind of like, again, I just don't think everybody needs to know every thought you have. I think there should be a little bit of mystery. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the fact that they're making a Harry Potter series with apparently John Lithgow is going to be Dumbledore. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be whatever you think. It's going to be interesting to see who they pick for all of these different roles. And there was also a rumor that, okay, if you know the movies or you know the series, you know who Professor Quirrell is, right? Professor Quirrell is the first defense against the dark art. Oh my gosh, the defense against the dark arts teacher that was in the first book or the first movie, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, if you're in the UK, and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, if you're in the US. Professor Quirrell, at the end of Sorcerer's Stone, the movie, spoiler alert, I guess, but he's got Voldemort sticking out the back of his head. Apparently, they want Cillian Murphy to play that role. I love the idea of them getting big actors to play the parts that only last in that one book. And it's also good for somebody like Cillian Murphy who could he only has to say, "Okay, we're shooting this one season and that's it." And it's not like Professor Quirrell is a huge character in the rest of the I like the idea. I like the idea. I don't know what they're going to do, but I kind of like that idea. I'm very interested, regardless of whether I think it's a good idea. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. Anyway, let me get back to, let's see. Well, and KP Senti, hi, how are you? Robert Shaw was an amazing Bond villain. Agreed. From Russia with also first with Q Gadgets. Yeah, it's a great movie. It really is great. And I mean, look, Secret Service is a good movie, man. Like I said, a little bit slow, but no one wants to see Zendaya in such a movie as that. What movie? The Odyssey? But why though? Why not? You're gonna need actors of every shape, size, and color because it's a trip that he's taking. He's sailing and he gets lost and no telling what's going to happen in that movie. Well, I mean, you can read the Odyssey and find out, but yeah, what's the problem with that? I mean, BC, I'm not trying to, not trying to say anything bad. I'm just like, what's the problem? I mean, you could say that Elliot Page being in it could be an issue. And I'm not going to lie. I'm worried what they're going to do with that. But the thing is I trust Christopher Nolan. And regardless, it's going to be epic. And I want to see what he's going to do. Hopefully, the sound design isn't, or the sound mix is good. I don't mind a new movie riffing on an older movie, so anyone wanting to do their take on a Die Hard is fine with me. Well, there you go. Dude, Matt Damon Odysseus? Hell yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be good. And the fact that it's already filming is kind of cool, too. I bet you Great Wall will be a better performance from Matt Damon. I don't know. Dude, Matt Damon can do a lot of different stuff. I mean, if you don't think Matt Damon's great. Look, I understand if you don't like Matt Damon for whatever reason, but dude, Matt Damon has done some great work in a variety of different roles that I just love. Dude, The Last Duel, and I know it's a Ridley Scott movie, not many people liked it, whatever. That's a good performance. Layered. I admire Matt Damon. I think he's great. Literally everyone agrees Fast and Furious is an undeniable all-time cinema classic, and that movie's basically an update of Point Break. That's a classic? I mean, hey, whatever. I enjoyed Great Wall. I didn't see Great Wall. Harry and the Hendersons. I know. John Lithgow, man, he's played everything from the dad in Harry and the Hendersons to the bad guy in not Virtuosity. Cliffhanger. What's the other one? Ricochet. Dude, and then he's the, you know, third rock from the sun. I mean, that guy can do anything and everything. He's a fun casting choice, but this series doesn't need a remake. I know. I mean, here's the thing though. If you're a fan of the books, I've always been saying that what it needs, instead of doing a live action series, which can be problematic because kids age pretty quickly, right? And they're going to have to take a season for each book, right? Right? Minimum. A season, a book, a season. Why not do it animated? That way you have complete control over the look of these people. And I wish they would do it animated, but I've been saying for a long time that I wish there was a series so that they could do the books justice instead of adding a bunch of BS action scenes where it doesn't belong. But whatever. Yes, Third Rock from the Sun, man. I like the Harry Potter games 1 through 3 on all platforms. Well, there you go. From Harry Potter 1, yeah, Professor Quirrell. You want to know all my thoughts? Beep, 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 beep. I don't know what that means. Oh, yes. I got it. John Travolta. No, he's too old. He's too old. No, too old. Troy. I haven't seen Troy in a long time. A long time. Yeah, I think he's a great actor. The Nickelback of actors. I mean, look, I get that, but in the right role, dude, he's really good in Oppenheimer. Like, I really enjoyed his performance there. And for, you know, I know The Martian. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. He's so good in that. Preacher and Footloose. Yes. Dude saw Gremlin on the... Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, the Twilight Zone remake, man, he's good. Zero Theorem was a good Damon movie. Wow, I haven't thought of that movie in a long time. Matt Damon's the best part of Interstellar, too. I need to watch Interstellar again. I've only seen it the one time, and I have it over there in 4K, but I haven't watched it again. It's funny because he can actually act, and he does great wall. Yeah, but money. That's the thing, man. If you're an actor, sometimes you just got to take the easy money. Not every movie can be a Good Will Hunting. You have to, you know. So, yeah. If they do an animated series instead and actually pay for it to be good, not that Lord of the Rings garbage, it could definitely be worth it. I mean, you're right. But I don't, like, I knew that when I heard that they were doing this, I was like, it's risky. And you really have to cast that well. Like, all the kids, that you've got to find a Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, right? And Rupert Grint. You got to find kids like that. That's not easy. And then you've got to find your Professor McGonagall. You got to find your Dumbledore. You got to find your Snape. It's hard. You don't have to worry about Voldemort yet. But there's a lot riding on this first season, and you got to be pitch perfect, and it's got to work. It's just really risky, man. Really risky. Has like four or five different accents. Somehow. Oh, Great Wall? I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Little Witch Academia. Little Witch Academia and Mary and the Witch's Flower are both teases for an animated Harry Potter. An awesome Loki. Yeah. It'd probably just be like Home Alone 3, 4, 5, where they just recast Kevin and don't give... I hope not. Titan AE. That was a good movie. I actually like that one a lot. Team America World Police. Matt Damon. But I like Titan AE. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Now here is the sequel news of a beloved classic. Some people don't like it. And I'd heard that something was happening, but I didn't realize it was this. Goonies 2 officially in the works with Steven Spielberg producing. Steven Spielberg, Christy McCaskill Krieger, and Holly Barrio will produce for Amblin Entertainment alongside Chris Columbus, who wrote the original Goonies script. By the way, Chris Columbus directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies. But anyway, Lauren Schuler Donner, the I guess ex-wife, the wife of the recently deceased Richard Donner, who directed the first Goonies, will executive produce. What do you think about this? What do you think about them doing a Goonies 2? I mean, look. Here's the thing. This might be controversial, especially depending on how old you are and how much you love the Goonies. But I'm not quite sure that the Goonies is the classic that everyone thinks it is. There are a lot of people who watch that movie and say that it's messy and that it really has an odd structure and that it kind of sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I unabashedly love the Goonies when it was recently put back in theaters. I went and saw it and actually teared up watching it because I hadn't seen it in a long time. And the power of the theater, man, I'm telling you, the end actually made me tear up. And I'm like, what am I doing? I've seen this movie like 100 times. I don't know how many times I've seen it, but I've seen it a lot. I unabashedly love this movie. But man, in a weird way, I can stand back from it and try to have an objective view of it and kind of go, it's not that great. And with a sequel 40 years after the fact, you could probably look at it the same way that you can look at any remake. And that is, there's really no way to delete the first one. You can recontextualize the first movie. But I mean, what's worst case scenario? Goonies 2 comes out and it sucks. Well, you've still got the first movie. But then you could argue the same thing. Well, Rob, why don't you just feel that way about The Rise of Skywalker? Well, anyway, who knows? Who knows? But here's the thing. 40 years later. This movie came out 40 years ago. Are you even bringing any of the old crew back? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Okay? It makes me nervous. I got to say, it makes me a bit nervous. Because I don't want it to be bad. I want it to be good, but I don't know. So that's the show. And on a weird note, but yeah, it's odd. It's odd that they would go back. But then you could say, well, Rob, I mean, look at what they did for Top Gun Maverick. Look at what they did for Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, possible, but who knows? Dogma, man. Okay, so here's the thing about Matt Damon in Dogma. I think Matt Damon is really good in Dogma. But to me, the performance that kills in that movie is freaking Ben Affleck. And there's a lot of people that don't like Ben Affleck. But that performance in the parking garage is, I love his performance there. And then, of course, Jason Lee. Come on, Jason Lee. He could try. Dude, I love the way he delivers his lines in that whole movie. It's so good. And I hope we can get Dogma in 4K. That would be great. I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, Kevin Smith's just not that good. I don't care. There's a shit demon in the movie. Yeah. It's the only really bad scene in the movie. Everything else kills. So well written, that movie. I love it. I don't care. It's got Alan Rickman in it. Okay? Alan Rickman. Movie's good. Anyway. Goobins 2. KP Senti, if you can sit there and try to, I don't know how that movie is going to play. I would be really curious, KP Senti. I would really be curious to hear what your thoughts are of the Goonies watching it today with none of that nostalgia. You're just watching the movie and trying to enjoy the movie on its own terms. I would be curious because in a way, I can kind of see when somebody says that movie sucks and it doesn't work. I can see that. But I have nothing but nostalgia for that movie, and I don't know if it would. I don't know if it works. If it actually works, or if it's just nostalgia. Hope it's not a long movie. No, it's like 100 minutes, so it's not a huge commitment, but it's also very light. It's a light movie. Oh, I have the 4K of Goonies too. Sloth. Yeah. Man, I love that movie. You know how many times my wife and we quote that movie constantly? Stay to the right. You know, all that. I mean, anytime when we hear water, I go, hey, Mikey, gotta go to the bathroom? Constantly. Why isn't Harry Potter going to be animated? I know, right? It makes so much sense to me. Wait a minute. Are you saying... Who are you talking about, Wraith? What would work better as a series? The Goonies? I think it's interesting they play old movies at the movies. Oh, I love it. I love it. Watching an older movie, a movie that either you have never seen before, or an older movie that you've never seen before, or a classic movie that you love. Dude, watching Alien in the theater was, again, I mean, come on. I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan. But I saw things in Alien in the theater that I'd never seen on home video before. It was so good. It was so beautiful, and the way that it envelops you. That's the thing about the theater. It's not just, oh, it's bigger and it's louder. Yeah, but it demands your attention because all the lights are off. You can't really see anything else. You're just captivated by it, and the spell is there. I just look. I'm a fan of the theater. But anyway, I really got to go. It's 10:30. Definitely Data since he's active. Well, yeah, and I'm sure Josh Brolin, you can get him back. I'm sure you can get Sean Astin. The kid that played Chunk is Ke Huy Quan's lawyer or something. They work together, so I know he could do it. Martha Plimpton, Carrie Green is not an actress anymore, but I'm sure you could probably get her back at least for a cameo. Corey Feldman, he's a big one. And do you bring back Joe Pantoliano and Robert Davi? I don't know. I don't care for Kevin Smith, but Dogma is freaking great. Yeah, it is. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Affleck is my favorite Batman and Bruce. I mean, yeah, it's good. Medium length. Goonies is medium length. I really don't know how I've. So you own Goonies in 4K, but you still have never seen it. Wow. Come on, Rob, but we're chatting. I know, but it's late and I need I need I need to not talk anymore. And the problem is this stream is just me talking, you know? So, yeah, it's time to go. But look, I really appreciate you guys being here. Seriously, it's my favorite thing. Don't forget about this, by the way. Where is it? There. Don't forget about this. I'll remind you again next week, but don't forget about this. If you own a Kindle, next Wednesday is the last time that you'll ever be able to download things you own, so that you may want to put it on another device. Otherwise, you're just going to have an Amazon device. So, something to keep in mind. I've got physical books like a man. Yes. Yes. Oh, and thank you, Ninjinzu. Yes. Episode 400 of J Guys and Jedi, Bucho and I said this at the beginning of the stream. I'll say it until it comes out. And I'm sure I will have a link to the episode that we will be on. But just to let you know, Bucho and I, this guy, Bam, we used to do a podcast together called Sending the Clones, where we did a review of each and every episode of the Clone Wars. And yeah, we were on J Guys and Jedi, another podcast about the Clone Wars and about Star Wars in general. We were on their podcast many times. And we're also on their episode 400 Gala Extravaganza of Doom. And that's coming soon. So if you're interested, you can go listen to them there, or wait for the link when it comes out. I'll report back on the Goonies on the Discord. I would love that. Thank you. Wait, what's with the T with Kindle? I saw headlines. Yeah. KP Senti, basically, Amazon is going to prevent you from downloading onto your computer the purchases that you've bought, which means you can re-download them as long as you own a Kindle. But if you ever want to move to a different device and you want to strip maybe those files of the DRM included and use them on other devices, you will not be able to do that easily. My guess is there'll probably be a way to plug up a Kindle and retrieve files that are downloaded locally. I don't know. But basically, the way that if you wanted to move to another device, the really easy thing is you re-download to your computer those files, you strip them of the DRM, and then you can use them on anything you want. Basically, Amazon's going to make it really hard on you. So, there you go. Where else can you download ebooks? Well, there's a lot of different file formats out there. EPUB, PDF, all of those the Kindle will read. But let's say you don't agree with Amazon anymore, or maybe you don't like their latest offerings of Kindles and you want to get another device from a different guy. Well, they're trying to make it really hard for you to make that switch, is all it is. So, there you go. How does Bucho appear so quickly with you? I don't know. He's just like, hi, I'm Bucho. Whoa. Hi, I'm Bucho. And then he goes away. Like a thief in the night. He just comes in, steals your heart, and then leaves. Ever mess with audiobooks? I do have an Audible account as well. Yes. But again, really it's more about reading along with the book. I'm not usually a audio only. Anyway, look, we got to go. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk more in the Discord. We'll talk again next week. And of course, you saw that Ninjinsu posted Game Dave's stream info. So there you go. Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Game Dave every Thursday. So just in case, if you want to hang out with us, a lot of us go over there and we hang out. Do it. Do the thing. Otherwise, hey, you guys have a great week. And we'll see you next time. Bye.